Tonight, the 0-2 Gaithersburg Giants take an 8-mile drive to First Responders Field here in Olney, Maryland, hoping to notch their first victory of the season after dropping to 0-2 last night in a 6-4 loss to the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Their opponent, the red-hot 2-0 Olney Cropdusters, who defend their home diamond tonight after a 10-4 throttling of the Bethesda Big Train just under 24 hours ago. It's a crosstown clash between the Giants and the Cropdusters, and we couldn't be more excited to have you here with us. Alongside my partner, Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick Kanan. Ben, the story through 2 games for the Cropdusters, 8 runs scored just a few days ago, 10 last night. It's just been the offense.
Yeah, the Cropdusters have been playing an exciting brand of baseball, putting pressure on not only the pitcher, but also the infield for opposition. It's hustling hard, hitting the ball hard, making the opposition make some tough plays, and it's led to some, errors or extra runs, and they're doing a great job of taking extra bases, and that's a huge part of what they're trying to do this year.
100%. The Cropdusters offense has been fantastic, but they face a very big and very good Giants team, so let's just save some time and get right into the lineup, starting first with the visiting Gaithersburg Giants. Leading off, playing left field for Gaithersburg is number 19, Brady Powell. In the 2-hole, it's the center fielder, number 8, Jaden Brown. Third baseman, Danny Orr, is in the 3 slot, number 18. Batting cleanup is Aaron Babayev, the designated hitter. Magnus Krieger rounds out the middle of the lineup, batting 5th, playing right field. Bryce Rudisil in the 6-hole playing first base. Zach White, number 4, the catcher, in the 7-hole. Michael Cantiliano, the second baseman, is in the 8 spot. And the second leadoff is number 13, the shortstop, Ryan Maxey.
And, yeah, it's a very dangerous lineup. The home run ability is there for a couple of these guys. The OPSs are high. Danny Orr especially, strikes for me, 880 OPS. He did strike out 34 times, but 7 home runs as just a freshman for UMBC. Looking forward to seeing this middle of the order work. Aaron Babayev as well, a 1.122 OPS in his first year. So it's a young team, but a very talented one at that.
And for the Cropdusters, it's a similar lineup that they had on the road in their season opener against the Metro South County Braves. Leading off, as opposed to in the 2-hole this time, is the second baseman, Will Henson. He played short, batted in that 2-hole during the first game. Andrew Kell, who led off, is now in the 2-hole. He's playing right field. Cade Walter, the left fielder, is batting 3rd. Carter Ritchie, who caught for the Cropdusters in their opener, is the designated hitter tonight. He's in the cleanup spot. Luke Kiefer, the shortstop, played second base in that opener, so him and Henson have switched. He's playing short tonight in the 5 spot. Roan Klein played first base, batting in the 6th slot in the opener. He's right back at home. R.J. Cromartie in the 7-hole playing third base. Parker Redden tonight gets the start behind the dish. And the second leadoff, real speedster, Ahmad Duff, who we didn't see a whole lot from at the plate, but he looked really smooth out in the field.
Yes, that he did. I hope we get to see him on the bases a couple more times, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's on first again. That coach leader will give him that steal sign, because clearly he can just blaze when he's on the bases.
Pair of freshmen take the bump tonight. It's Ryan O'Bourne for the Cropdusters out of the University of Indianapolis. And for the Giants, it's Britton Wildison, freshman out of Goldie Beacon. Neither players have played in the Cal Ripken League before, both making their season debuts tonight, each working with a fastball, changeup, curveball, slider ratio. Wildison has a little bit more velocity, hanging around 89 miles an hour, while O'Bourne hangs around 83, 84 with that heater. So clear velo advantage to Wildison.
Yeah, Wildison, he's a big guy, 6'2", 205. Interested to see if that's accurate where he is. And he had a very solid year, 3.68 ERA. No starts, which I thought was relatively interesting. 10 appearances all out of the bullpen. So he's going to get a chance to start today. 22 innings pitched, 19 hits, 14 Ks to 12 walks. So,
We're going to pause temporarily for the national anthem. With the playing of our national anthem. First pitch just moments away here from First Responders Field. Giants 0-2. Fell on their opener to the Senators on Wednesday, a 5-9 loss. Last night a loss to the Thunderbolts, 6-4. They sit at the bottom of the standings. Meanwhile, the Cropdusters, one of two undefeated teams remaining in the Cal Ripken League. The other, the DC Grays, who finished in last place in 2024. So quite the turnaround from them. Olney will face them in just a few games. First matchup with the Grays is on Sunday, home here at First Responder Field. That is also the next home game for the Cropdusters. Tomorrow on the road at Blair High School, facing this Thunderbolts team that beat the Giants last night. O'Born on the mound getting warmed up. Redshirt freshman out of the University of Indianapolis, Toronto native, so not even familiar with the country, let alone the area. Stands 6 foot tall, 185 is the weight. Posted a 6.75 ERA in 8 innings pitched this past season at the University of Indy. Tallied 1 win, gave up 16 hits and 6 earned runs, struck out 6. Opponents hit .410 against him.
Yeah, you know, he struggled in his first year. He'd be the first one to tell you that. But, yeah, you know, we talked about it already, and it's a real adjustment. He's just a redshirt freshman, of course, still has a lot of years of eligibility left. And, yeah, you know, someone like him who's not necessarily going to, you know, shock you in terms of the velocity. It takes some time to kind of figure out who the pitcher you want to be, and it puts a lot on, you know, location. It puts a lot on stuff, and I think he's still kind of working out the kinks in who he wants to be as a pitcher and how he wants to use his stuff. Because, yeah, it's different for a guy who's not just going to be, you know, chucking fastballs past hitters consistently.
Brady Powell will lead things off here tonight. Redshirt sophomore out of Radford. First pitch. O'Born settles, kick and deal. That one inside for ball 1. Powell has appeared in both games for the Giants so far this season. Has recorded 1 hit and 1 RBI. Looking to add to that here. 1-0 pitch incoming. That one tails outside, 2-0.
Yeah, Powell also a returner to the league, to the Giants, in fact. 17 stolen bases last year, so if he gets on base, he certainly is a threat to go.
2-0 pitch. That one skied out to left. Walter is there, and there's one away.
Yeah, you know, we sort of talked about it pregame that O'Born is not going to be someone to always be attacking with his fastball. We saw the first pitch he threw, he went off speed, then 2-0, he throws his fastball and gets the out.
Up next is Jaden Brown, one of the league leaders so far in average. He's hitting .667 so far, as that one is drilled out to right. On the run is Cal, and that ball is gone. Jaden Brown, a solo shot in the top of the first, and an early 1-0 lead for the Giants.
Yeah, you know, for Brown there, maybe saw those 2 off-speed pitches to lead off against Powell, sits on it on 0-0, gets one, and just absolutely drills it. You know, Brown in the transfer portal, and that's certainly not going to hurt his highlight reel.
97 miles an hour off the bat. That ball traveled 380 feet out to right center. An early lead for the Giants, and still plenty of time here in this first inning for Danny Orr to do some more damage. O'Born delivers. That one inside on the hands for ball 1. Big test here for the Cropdusters. Facing adversity the earliest in a game so far this season, as that one is grounded to the right side. Klein picks it up, and he'll take it himself to first base. 2 away here. Cleanup man next up for the Giants, Aaron Babayev. In the DH spot tonight. O'Born takes his time, now delivers. Fastball low and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Babayev had a really exciting year. Coming off a .112 OPS at the College of San Mateo. He led that team to a playoff berth.
1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the off speed. Babayev hit .324 this past year. So far, through 2 games with the Giants, he's hitting .200. 5 at-bats, 1 hit.
Yeah,
has scored 2 runs.
Saw him throw that changeup there after, he went to the more sweeper against Brown. Maybe attacking lefties differently after giving up the homer.
That one fouled off to the left side and out of play. 1-2 count now to Babayev. O'Born settling in nicely after allowing that solo shot to Jaden Brown. 1-2 incoming. No shift for the Dusters. Everybody back on the outfield grass. That one just misses outside. Off-speed pitch doesn't find the zone. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he went back to that changeup that he threw to get the swing and the miss. That time more breaking down in the way as opposed to just straight down.
The 2-2 count. That one rings him up for strike 3. A delayed call by the home plate umpire goes O'Born's way. The Dusters allow one on a solo shot to Jaden Brown, but Ryan O'Born bounces back with a solid K to end the inning.
Yeah, he went right back to that changeup. Very solid pitch, just kind of dotted the outside corner. And now, we saw the Cropdusters come from behind in their first game. Early 1-0 deficit. Excited to see how they'll respond.
This team definitely has a high-powered offense. The lineup that we see tonight scored 8 on Wednesday. Exact same 9 up at the plate for the Dusters. On the mound for the Giants, it's Britton Wildison, number 43 for Gaithersburg. Played this freshman season at Goldie Beacon this past year. Appeared 10 times for 22 innings. Nodded a 3.68 ERA. Allowed 9 runs, walked 12, struck out 14. But the big problem for Wildison has been the long ball. 4 home runs given up. Opponents just hitting .229 against him, though. So long as he doesn't leave anything hanging too long in the zone, he's been very, very solid.
Yes, he has been. He's been attacking the zone. Doesn't have the same walk issue as we've seen, maybe guys yesterday. But, of course, the 12 walks are still there. But looking forward to seeing Cade Walter and Carter Ritchie, that middle of the order, how they're going to face this power threat. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, not going to see Charlie Buckles today as he DH'd in the first game. But, of course, with Carter Ritchie not being able to catch again, they're moving Buckles. We'll probably see him tomorrow, but he was an exciting player, the FSU commit. So that's the one change. Parker Redden catching with him, the Buckles DHing, unable today.
Buckles also listed as a left-handed pitcher. Maybe he comes out of the pen tonight as he gets to sit in the lineup. Leading off for the Cropdusters, it's Will Henson. Had 5 plate appearances in the opening day win against the Braves. Walked twice, scored 2 runs. Has yet to record a hit.
Yeah, I really like the way he takes an at-bat. He really does everything he can to time up each pitch, going through his whole swing motion, whether he swings or not.
First pitch, Henson takes inside, ball 1.
Yeah, you can see that little, no matter what, he's always checking. He's always kind of getting his timing as right as he can. Some guys obviously just the eye, but for him, it really feel like he has to get that whole body working.
1-0, fastball in on the hands, but that one finds the zone for strike 1. Henson, one of the older members of this team, going into his 5th college season in 2026, still in the transfer portal. 1-1, that one is inside. Wildison pounding the inner portion of that zone. Henson stands relatively close to the plate, toes right on the line of that righty's batter's box. Trying to get the jam here on the right-hand man. 2-1. That one skied out to left. On the run is Powell. Diving, he doesn't get there. It's picked up by Brown. He'll hit the cutoff man, and Will Henson has a leadoff single.
Yeah, Henson very close to the plate, but he's always looking for his opportunity to kind of extend his arms. You saw that pitch a little bit more on the outside part of the plate, able to get a full swing to that one. Didn't get as much of the contact as he would like, but still does enough to just drop it in there for a leadoff knock.
Wilderson kind of left that one off the hands. Henson able to get barrel on it. Drills it out to left. Next up is Andrew Kell, the right fielder. First pitch finds the zone for strike one. Kell walked twice as well in the opening day game against the Braves. Working fast as Wilderson. Kell fouls it straight back. Walked twice, struck out twice, scored a run. Also has yet to record a hit. Henson gets his first. Kell trying to do the same.
Yeah, interesting. We have Wilderson listed around 89 miles an hour. He's more 86 so far with his fastball.
0-2 pitch. That one low. Check over to first. Henson dives back. He's safe.
Yeah,
solid heads-up play by Zach White. Henson not fooled, though.
Certainly worth a shot there by White. Henson a little bit off the base. You know, all you got to do is make a solid throw. You can do that as many times as you want if you're the catcher. Kind of saves a pickoff move.
That ball drilled out to left. On the run is Powell once more. He's there. Henson retreats back to first. And there's one away.
Yeah, Wilderson able to get that breaking pitch just enough down. Kell looked like for a second was in his wheelhouse. The pitch dropped just a little bit far enough down, so like off the end of the bat, not going to get enough contact on that.
Cade Walter due up for the Cropdusters. He came up to us yesterday, hit a hard ground ball to the shortstop in the opener, was ruled an error, and then hit a fluke triple as well. So we have seen instances early on this season of players being lucky and unlucky. Walter, one of those as well.
Yeah, it seems like baseball just kind of always evens out. You know, the baseball god's always making sure that if one hit isn't rewarded, another one will be. And yeah, if anything, you take the triple over a single, of course.
I'd always take the triple first. Henson goes. Ball inside. Throw down to second right there. And Henson is gunned down. Zach White laser down to the second base bag. And Henson is retired. Bases are empty now for Walter with two away.
Yeah, that seriously was a laser. It was a good jump by Henson.
That one fouled off to the left side. On the run is Orr in play. And the side is retired. One hit for the Cropdusters goes nowhere here in the bottom of the first. Britton Wilderson shuts down Olney and holds the 1-0 lead for Gaithersburg.
Yeah, Henson with the leadoff knock. Inning got off to a good start, but Wilderson, pounding the zone and getting outs.
Thank you so much for attending tonight's game, and let's go Cropdusters!
Born out for a second inning of work.
Another very solid crowd tonight. A lot of families once more. I hope that continues throughout the season, especially if the Cropdusters are continuing to play good, exciting baseball.
Friday night lights here at First Responder Field. First Friday home game for the Cropdusters.
Yeah,
They
certainly.
can celebrate their best start in franchise history.
Yeah, certainly not a bad way to spend a Friday, especially, you check out that beer stand, get a couple of those, and you're set for the night.
Unfortunately, that's a little beyond my age range. If there are any cops listening, I promise I will not indulge.
Just testing you, keeping you on your toes.
I hope you're not wearing a wire. I know you have the headset on.
Now this one's just going to the fans out there. No secondary link as far as I know. Never know who's listening though.
Never do. Top of the second, loading up here. Leading off is Magnus Krieger for the Giants.
Starting the right fielder, number 46 from Seton Hall University, Magnus Krieger.
Yeah, 29 starts at Seton Hall. Only 257, but a 710 OPS, definitely not the worst way to start your 4-year career. Hoping to, get some more college pitching here and then go back to that impressive school and then hope for more in the sophomore year.
He's 0 for 3 so far this season with a walk as O'Born loses control of that one, hits the backstop. Counts 1-0.
Yeah, O'Born goes back to his off-speed pitch for the first pitch of the inning, and just way off on that one.
1-0 loading up to the man who just finished his freshman year at Seton Hall. That one finds the zone, strike one. Off-speed pitch again, 75 miles per hour out of the hand of O'Born.
Yeah, that's the bender he's looking for. Start it in that righty's batter's box. Looks like it's going to hit you. Next thing you know, it falls in there. Not even in the middle, but towards the outside of part of the plate.
1-1. Rolled over to the right side. Cromartie, there. Scoop, throw, got him. And there's one away.
Yeah, good job by Cromartie to read that hop there. Didn't let that ball play him. Got it on the low one and made the strong throw. You don't want to wait too long there, with decent speed on the, running to first, could easily beat that out.
Bryce Rudisil due up for the Giants. He's 1 for 4 so far this season with an RBI. Has also swiped a bag. First pitch to him is low for ball one. No shift for the Cropdusters. Middle infield back, corners at normal depth.
Yeah, another power threat here.
Swing and a miss on that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing from O'Born. Since that home run, he's made an adjustment. Against lefties, he's really attacking that changeup, especially to get ahead of the count. Yeah, Rudisil 10 home runs, so, smartly being careful.
The 1-1. That one grounded to second base. Henson scoops, toss. 2 straight groundouts for Ryan O'Born as Zach White comes to the plate. Solid start to the second inning for the righty.
Yeah, really making that changeup, do a lot of the heavy lifting there. Throws it again. That's some more in the zone. Just a perfect pitch to get a ground ball on. An easy play for Henson.
Zach White has taken 8 at-bats this year for the Giants. He's recorded 3 hits, batting .375. Watches the first ball go low. It's 1-0.
But once again, a first pitch off speed, clear that he's more comfortable throwing his sweeper his as opposed to his fastball.
The 1-0 count. That one low in the zone, scrapes the dirt, 2-0 count. 87 out of the hand of O'Born there. One of the faster pitches we've seen leave the freshman's right arm. And he's down 3-0 to White. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the second. Giants lead 1-0. Right as O'Born seemed to have settled in, he now has to battle back against the veteran catcher. That one coats the lower part of the zone for strike one. Three-one count. Rolled over to the left side. Cromartie goes fast. Scoop, throw, tag by Klein. It pops out of his glove. Ball rolls away to second base. A wild throw by Cromartie brings Klein up the first base line. White runs into the glove as Klein tries to make the tag. Ball pops out, and White is safe at first.
Yeah, it's a classic example of you don't really know the speed of your runners. Cromartie probably had some time there to field it, step and throw, but not really aware of the speed of White. Tries to rush it and leads to the error.
White, not a guy you necessarily have to pay attention to on the base paths, has yet to swipe one in 2 seasons for Gaithersburg. One 1-0 count here to lefty Michael Contigliano. Fouls that one off to the left side and out of play. Counts even 1-1. Contigliano has also yet to record a base hit so far this season. Has taken 3 at-bats, walked once, struck out twice. Did not play his freshman season at Seton Hall. So really his first chance to see live pitching since he left high school. Upstairs pitch goes high, 2-1.
Yeah, it's a tough call according to the TrackMan. Caught a lot of play. Maybe just a late break on that resulted in the frustrating call for Auburn.
Cantiliano skies that one to the left side and out of play. Appearing to be a tad late. Reading Auburn, both skied high and far to the left side.
Yeah, really attacking lefties with that changeup. Interesting if maybe second time around lefties will be expecting it.
2-2. That one outside on the fastball, 89 out of the hand of Auburn. Counts now full, 3-2, 2 away, runner on first. It's White, he'll take off as soon as the pitch is thrown. There he goes, Auburn delivers, swing and a miss. Auburn gets the strikeout, his second of the day. One base runner for Gaithersburg goes nowhere. Lead still holds. It's 1-0 Giants after the top of the second.
Yeah, he gets swinging the miss and the good changeup starts. You know, it's exactly what you want to do against the lefties. You start it in the zone, it just falls off. You know, just the bottom drops out from under it. It's really an impossible pitch to read. You just gotta. Only way you take it is if you're totally expecting it, because it just comes out looking like a fastball, late break. It's a great pitch.
It's a fantastic pitch. Auburn has settled in since allowing that home run to Jaden Brown. And now back out for his second inning of work is the righty for Gaithersburg, Britton Wildison.
Yeah, and you know, here's Carter Ritchie. You know, we talked about how he didn't get a lot of playing time at the catcher position at school, so playing as a DH will not necessarily be that foreign to him. Of course, you know, most catchers, you know, my catcher in at my club team, he would not like when he wasn't playing. He said that, you know, he just felt so much more in the game when he's actually seeing pitches as opposed to when he's DHing. But we'll see how Ritchie can respond, you know, not catching 9 innings today.
It helps when you're a veteran presence. Ritchie just finished his senior year at VCU. Not a great year, all things considered. Hit 133 in 14 games, but in the one game he has seen so far this season, he's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Also has a sacrifice fly. Really impressive just 2 nights ago on the road. Now has a chance to do it in front of the home crowd here at First Responders Field, as the bottom of the second is set to get underway momentarily. Ritchie walking up.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get a fastball by this guy low in the zone. He made that evidently clear with his swings in game 1.
Dusters went 3 up, 3 down last inning.
Yeah, aided by that great throw down by White on the Henson's steal attempt.
Trying to do more here. Ritchie up in the count, 1-0. Rolls that one over to the left side and foul. Count squared up at 1-1.
Yeah, a little ahead of the fastball there.
Wildison not wasting any time, not even leaving the rubber. Quickly comes set, kicks and delivers. Inside, and that hits Ritchie's elbow. He'll take first base. Back-to-back innings with leadoff men on for the Dusters. Trying to rewrite the tide here and capitalize in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that you know, that curveball there just kind of stayed, did not get the break he wanted in the zone, stayed right inside. Ritchie, you know, he knows he has that Evo shield, no need to get out of the way of it, just hits him right in that shield. Probably didn't even feel much of it, and he'll take first base.
Luke Kiefer steps in. Middle infield shading the second base bag. Inside pitch once more. Kiefer takes, it's 1-0. Wildison really pounding the inner part of that zone on righties. Kiefer, very similar to Henson, crowds that plate as it's rolled over to the right side. Orr throws to second. There's one. No throw to first as it drew Cantiliano slightly off the bag. Hard to make a turn there. But Ritchie dead to rights. So 1 out, and Kiefer will replace Richie at first base. Due up next is Roan Klein. Went 1 for 4 in his Cropdusters debut on Wednesday. Had 2 RBIs. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. Klein takes it's 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Even without runners on, Wilderson still pitching from the stretch. I think some of that could be, used to coming out of the bullpen. That's what he did at school 10 times this year.
Klein now up heavy 2-0.
Yeah, well done taking that. He thought about it, but able to pull back just in time.
2-0 pitch. Klein up the middle. Blooper's going to fall. Base hit. Kiefer slightly round second. He'll hold there. 2 aboard, 1 away now for the Cropdusters with R.J. Cromartie coming up to the plate.
Yeah, Klein, of course, did not get the full barrel to that, but he's just so strong, able to muscle it out there for a base knock.
Klein now has 2 base hits on the year and 5 at-bats. R.J. Cromartie walking up to Frank Sinatra. Going to do things his way at the plate. That ball outside, 1-0.
It's a good take there on a late-breaking changeup. Saw it all the way.
That one a little dribbler back to the mound. White's going to scoop, throw to first, got him. Both runners advance. So the weak dribbler advances the runners. Cromartie is retired.
Yeah, and it's quite the time for Parker Redden's first at-bat as a Cropduster.
Big spot for the redshirt sophomore out of the University of Indianapolis. Has not recorded a hit in 2 collegiate seasons. Transferred from the University of Delaware, where he did not see the field at all there either. Redden trying to get things going. Takes opening pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, it's a good sweeper there. Thought about swinging at it. Thought better of it. Probably for the best, but he'll go to take the strike.
0-1. Way ahead of the off-speed pitch there. 0-2 to Redden.
Yeah, now he's got Redden thinking. He's gone back-to-back sweepers. Got the swing and a miss way ahead on that one. Of course, the fastball's in the back of your mind, but it's hard not to think about that off-speed pitch that you just saw back-to-back times.
The 0-2. Rolled over to the left side. Foul ball. Redden lives to see another pitch. It's Kiefer on third for the Cropdusters. Klein on second. First base is empty. Parker Redden 0-2 count, 2 away. Britton Wilderson still trying to move fast. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Ice in his veins. Britton Wilderson, 2 men on with 2 away. It does not matter. Gets Parker Redden on strikes. And the Cropdusters come up empty-handed once more. It's still 1-0 Giants after 2.
Yeah, you can understand Wilderson trusting his off-speed pitch. Goes back to it there. And yeah, Redden seems like that fastball is the best chance he was going to get. 0-2 after not looking great on back-to-back sweepers. Just fouled off the fastball. And then, of course, you always knew that off-speed pitch is coming back. Was not able to foul it off.
Serving ice-cold beers and seltzer, as well as the all-new refreshing Cropduster Orange Crushes. They'll be there until the 8th inning. Look for amazing burgers, hot dogs, chicken tenders, and
And I'm excited to see O'Byrne third time around. Third inning and second time around. He gets to face Ryan Maxey, the non-hitter, but after that, he's going to be getting the top of the order, including Jaden Brown, who hit a home run off that first pitch off speed. We've seen him go to that changeup more and more. I'd expect that to continue, especially against Brown. But, I'd like to say that Brown was watching that first at-bat. He saw the first 2 sweepers, and he was sitting on it. He got it, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was also looking for a changeup first pitch.
O'Byrne has only allowed 1 hit. It was that home run to Brown. Other than that, he's been relatively solid. Only 1 other Giant has reached base and it came on an error by R.J. Cromartie, who has really struggled in the field so far this season. That was his third error in just 2 games. When you're at the hot corner, you need to be composed, and Cromartie so far through 2 games has had some defensive issues.
Yeah, you know, the first one was that pop-up, that definitely a play that just kind of a fluke error. That one, the one today, just, you know, had more time than he gave himself, forced himself into a tougher throw than he probably had to make. After making a really nice play earlier in the inning on that 2-hopper, I think Cromartie, he'd tell you himself, he hasn't seen a lot of game time, so just the in-game reps are nothing you can really replicate. So the more he sees, I think the better he's going to do. But yeah, it's just tough when you're coming in kind of cold.
Top of the third about to get underway. It's Ryan Maxey at the plate. O'Bourne delivers off speed upstairs, 1-0.
Yeah, once again attacking a lefty with a changeup, despite being the number 9 hitter.
Maxey has appeared in both games for the Giants. Has an RBI but no hits.
Yeah,
Assisted on a run on a sacrifice fly.
Another young player for this team. Maxey just finished his freshman year at St. John's River State. Only hit 169 there, but looking to improve on that this summer. But yeah, it's a young lineup.
The 2-0. That ball finds the zone. O'Bourne gets one. It's 2-1. Maxey is very disciplined. Walked 19 times in his freshman season. You mentioned a 170 batting average. As that ball grounded to Klein, steps on the bag, and an early out for Ryan O'Bourne, who we hinted at it has really settled in since allowing that home run.
Yeah, that change has been a real weapon, especially to get ground balls. I mean, after the home run, he got the ground ball to first, that very similar to that play, and then he's just, that second inning as well, just the ball stayed on the ground except for the strikeout.
Top of the order, it's Brady Powell. Quick little dribbler down to Cromartie, bare hand, and there's no play. Powell too fast. He'll reach first safely on the infield single.
Yeah, this is perfect swing bunt there by a pretty fast hitter, like we already talked about. 17 stolen bases last year, just a lot of speed on him. Couldn't have thrown him any better.
Jaden Brown, the man who is responsible for the Giants' 1-0 lead, hit a solo shot in the top of the first. Didn't hit a home run at all this season at San Mateo College. Did not hit a home run last season with the Giants. So a surprise guy hits a nuke in the top of the first, but a surprise start to his season as well. He's been red hot, hitting .667 coming into this game. 1-0 pitch. That one flown out to left. On the run is Walter. He's not going to get there. Another base hit for Jaden Brown. This time it's a single. And there's 2 men aboard with 1 out for the Giants as Powell advances to second.
Third baseman number 18 from UMBC, Danny Orr.
Yeah, just a little bit unfortunate. Just throwing decent pitches, and they're not necessarily hitting him hard at all. But just finding the right spot. You got to take the process more than the results there.
Danny Orr due up. That one fouled straight back to us. No balls and a strike. Orr grounded out to first his first time up in the top of the first. First all the way around. He's second on the team in average through 2 games, though. He's got 3 hits and 5 at-bats. That one in the dirt. Nice scoop there by Redden. He'll toss back to O'Bourne, who gets right back to work with a 1-1 count. Yeah,
you know what O'Bourne's thinking here. He's love a ground ball, get out of this jam, and also finish his day on a high note. Would be a very solid outing for him. We know he can induce the ground ball.
That one skied out to the right side and out of play.
Yeah, it's
1-2 count.
It's a good pitch there. Fastball, outside corner. He's got a good fastball. Of course, maybe he doesn't prefer it to his off speed, but it's certainly more than serviceable.
86 off the hand of O'Bourne. 1-2 count. He checks second, goes to the plate. Low and outside. 2-2 with one away, 2 men aboard. Big pitch coming up for Ryan O'Born. Cropdusters down 1-0. Gaithersburg pressuring again. That one skied out to center. On the run is Duff. He's not going to get there. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Brown. Play at the plate. Not in time. A 2 RBI double for Danny Orr extends the Gaithersburg lead. It's 3-0 Giants here in the top of the third.
Yeah, what a read there by Jaden Brown. He almost caught up to Brady Powell on that one. Just absolutely, just going right after the crack of the bat. And if it wasn't for that, there's no way he's scoring. It was still a pretty tough play despite him getting a perfect jump and clearly having some wheels.
Redden would have had a shot. It was a nice relay by Duff. It just popped out of his glove and hit the backstop. So no true play at the plate, as the first pitch to Babayev is inside. 1-0 count. Largest deficit the Cropdusters have faced so far this season was only down 2 at Metro South County. Rolled over to the right side. Klein scoops it up. Babayev is retired.
Yeah, we know that Ahmad Duff in center field can go get them, but just that one hit too hard on an absolute tee. Unable to get much out of that.
Yeah, it was 96 off the bat of Orr. Ricocheted off the wall, 350 in right center. Duff, no matter how fast you are, unless you're the Flash, you're not catching that ball. It's Magnus Krieger up. He swings and misses on the opening off-speed pitch and falls behind 0-1. Orr advanced to third on that ground out by Babayev, so that's where he stands. Krieger at the plate. It's 2 outs. Off-speed pitch just misses. Square count, 1-1. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch, and Krieger's ahead of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's got 2 swing and misses on that changeup this at bat. Certainly would be tempting to go back to it here, but it could be one of those situations where Krieger is looking for it.
The 2-2. Foul tip. Ricochets off the chest plate of Redden. Krieger lives to see another.
Yeah, he went for the fastball there, but a little bit surprising seeing it coming out of the same location as the changeup, low in the zone. He's going to get a swing on it anyway. I think maybe a high fastball there, trying to change the eye angle, especially if he wants to go back to a changeup here, would have been more worthwhile.
Swing and a miss. Junk in the dirt, gets away from Redden. He scoops, tosses to first, and just gets the speedy Krieger. 2-run score for the Giants here on the top of the third. They extend their lead to 3. It's 3-0 Gaithersburg as we head to the bottom of the third.
Yeah, certainly a closer play than it maybe initially seemed. Yeah, funnily enough. He's only got 3 strikeouts, O'Burn, but he's finished each inning with one of them, so ends the inning with momentum. And kind of a classic second leadoff hitter in Ahmad Duff will lead us off, so certainly not a terrible 9-1-2. That's set up for some success. Henson still had the base knock in the last at bat, but still, sure, of course he wants to right the wrong of that caught stealing.
Dusters definitely need some offensive production. Would it help if Ahmad Duff can get on? He's extraordinarily fast. Then you follow it up with Will Henson, who also has some speed, despite being caught stealing in the bottom of the first, rather.
Yeah, after that caught stealing, I wonder if that'll change some minds of the Cropdusters in terms of how aggressive they'll be on the bases, because White just threw an absolute laser down to second base.
Yeah, as they score, you put it on. Well, how you just had to go to. You were already in the third inning, right? Yeah. So you just should have gone get score +2. Yes, and it's just get score. So what did we? What's the first inning? First one. So it's just get score 2.
Ahmad Duff steps in for the Dusters. Britton Wodison out for his third inning of work. Shows bunt. Fastball gets close to the head of Duff. He pulls back and takes the first pitch upstairs. It's 1-0. 1-0 count. Foul it off to the right side.
Yeah, way ahead of that one. Basically got as end of the bat as it could be.
Off-speed pitch, 81 off the hand of Wodison, 27 miles per hour off the bat of Duff, right off the end of it. He's got a 1-1 count. That ball misses.
Yeah, it's a good take there. Started up. One of those pitches that you never know if it's going to break down or not. Duff, though, read it well.
Swing and a miss. Duff ahead of the off-speed. It's a 2-2 count. Wodison, extraordinarily composed, delivers. And Duff down on strikes. Ahead of the off-speed once more. Back-to-back Ks for Britton Wodison.
Yeah, really similar pitches. They're both sweepers that start in the zone and get out of it, but just, yeah, Duff not able to make an adjustment on. To be fair, it's a nasty pitch.
Will Henson, top of the order for the Cropdusters. Henson singled his first time up. He's 1 for 1 tonight. First pitch he watches go by, ball 1.
Yeah, it's a nice take there. Missed just a little down in the way.
Big spot here with 1 out. Off speed in on the hands for strike 1. We saw Wodison pound the inner portion of that zone against Henson to lead off the game.
Yeah, 4 consecutive sweepers for Wodison.
He brings the heat there. It's a 1-2 count as Henson late on the fastball. 1-2 pitch. Wodison dealing early. He's as composed as can be 60 feet from home plate. Misses there, low and outside. There's 1 away in the bottom of the third. 2-2 count to Henson. Nobody on for the Cropdusters.
Henson all the way in the back of the box, basically as far back as possible, that right foot on the white.
And he's ahead of that one. Fouls it to the left side. Lives to see another pitch. Still 2-2.
Yeah, a lot of play on that from Wodison, not able to get the same movement he got on the ones to Duff, where breaking low and away, that one staying towards the heart of the plate.
2-2 count. Hunt him up on strikes. Henson froze. There's 2 away, 3 straight strikeouts for Britton Wodison.
Yeah, he is really in a groove right now. Just pounding the zone, not afraid to throw that sweeper in any count, and that's really the sign of a pitcher having comfort with a pitch. Ability to throw it, when it's 2-0, 0-2, or of course even 0-0.
Andrew due up for the Dusters. He's 0 for 1, flew out to left his first time up. That one, really the only one that's ever gotten away from Wodison tonight. First pitch ball, it's 1-0. Kell still searching for his first hit of the season. He's only walked twice. That one fouled straight back high and way out of play. Count level 1-1. 81 miles an hour on the off-speed pitch from Wodison. who's dealt a very solid 2 2/3. Trying to round it out here with 3 scoreless innings. Has to get through Andrew Kell. 1-1. That one misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. That one lined out to left. It's going to fall. Nice cutoff by Powell. He relays in. Trying to take 2 as Cal tries the swim move. He's not going to get it. Tossed out at second. A chance to be aggressive for the Dusters goes nowhere as an Andrew Cal base hit is eliminated thanks to a phenomenal relay by the Giants. So the side is retired, and the Dusters come up empty-handed once more.
Yeah, you know, pretty aggressive base running there from Kel. You know, in general, you like runners being aggressive, but it seems like in that situation, you're down 3 early. You want to just get Walter a chance to bat there, but he actually did a nice job with that swim slide, making it a closer play than it initially was. But yeah, just not too much time there for the fielders.
There's a difference between being aggressive and being desperate, and that seemed more desperate from the Cropdusters. Down 3-0, you get a solid piece of contact. All the credit to Brady Powell on left, who really did a phenomenal job cutting that ball off. But you've got to be composed. There's still plenty of time left in this game. Once you saw him cutting it off, you know you got a hold there, unless there's an absolutely terrible relay. Regardless, nice play by the Giants. Desperation goes nowhere for the Dusters, and it's 3-0 as we head to the top of the 4th with a new arm for your Olney Cropdusters. And you hinted at it earlier, Ben. It's Charlie Buckles, the Florida State commit. Lefty from Bethesda, Maryland, went to Walt Whitman High School. Takes his first outing on the mound for Olney.
Now pitching for your Cropdusters from Florida State University, wearing jersey number 32.
Yeah, certainly exciting to see. I mean, we already know how impressive of a hitter he is. He's, you know, at 6'6", 230. He's got that huge frame. You can see his motion really just kind of comes straight at you if you're the hitter. So, yeah, excited to see how he'll attack with what I assume is going to be a pretty devastating fastball.
That fastball works anywhere from 87 to 90 miles an hour. Buckles also has a changeup, curveball, slider in his arsenal. Changeup hangs around 81 to 83, curveball around 77. Slider, big fall off in the low 70s, high 60s. Quite the variation in velocity, could really upset some of the opposing hitters for the Gaithersburg Giants.
Yeah, you know, that big change in velocity is always interesting to me, especially with the slider. You know, right now we got around a 20-mile-an-hour difference. Sometimes I feel like that big of a break is not actually always that beneficial, because you can be fooled on a slider and still have time to kind of make an adjustment if the velocity is actually at 65 miles an hour, which it claims to be. Unless it's a Yu Darvish, you know, esque 63-mile-an-hour curveball that he can just drop in there, because that thing, I mean, that of course is just devastating.
It's the first time either of us have seen Buckles on the mound. He'll be attending Florida State in the fall, about to graduate high school, and he's making his debut against Bryce Rudisil. First pitch fastball in there for strike one, 88 on that heater. Buckles working fast. Swing and a miss on the off speed in the dirt. He's got Rudisil fooled so far.
Yeah, this kid is legit. I mean, we already saw it with his ability to use the opposite field with his power, and now we're seeing just some impressive pitches so far.
The 0-2. Fouled off by Rudisil. He'll live to see another.
Yeah, you know, it's called a four-seam fastball, but you look at it, a lot of cut inside. You know, moving more kind of like a two-seam than just a straight four-seam fastball.
Rudisil grounded out his first time up. He's down 0-2 here. Delivery in the dirt. He'll watch that one go. It's 1-2. Off speed by Buckles, just could not find the zone. He's really working fast from the windup. Pause, delivery, another foul ball off the leg of Rudisil. He walks around, shaking off the pain. Home plate umpire meets Buckles halfway, toss him a new ball.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to talk to Buckles because the movement is kind of more reminiscent of a sinker. You know, that's really the only way lefties can get that in-breaking movement, but clearly it's, you know, it's an effective pitch.
The 1-2. Rudisil on it once more. 3 straight foul balls from the left-handed batter. Count still 1-2.
And look at him, right ready to go back to work, wasting no time, as we've seen from all pitchers tonight, really.
The 1-2. Off-speed pitch in the dirt and inside. 76-mile-an-hour curveball off the left hand of Buckles. Misses the zone. Count level 2-2. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Buckles trying to keep it a 3-1 lead, 3-run lead rather for Gaithersburg. As he heads toward the plate, ball in the dirt again, and Rudisil has worked this count back to full.
Yeah, you know, yet to really find that off-speed pitch. He got the swing and miss in the dirt on 0-1, but a good adjustment by Rudisil, you know, saying you got to throw that in the zone or else I'm not going to swing.
8th pitch of the at-bat. Buckles delivers. Sky high out to shallow right. In comes Kel. He's under it. 1 away.
Next attention, number 41 from Louisiana Monroe, Zachary White.
Yeah, I like what I see from Buckles just in terms of his, you know, emotion and his he's very loose up there, which is tough. I mean, this guy is used to facing high school competition. Now he's going up against, you know, a lot of Division I or just very solid college players, yet he does not seem at all, you know, taken by the moment.
He now faces Zach White, who reached in the top of the second rather on an error. White up 1-0. 89 miles per hour on that heater from Buckles. He goes back to home, off-speed pitch in the dirt, 2-0. He's having a hard time really locating that curveball.
Yeah, you know, you can kind of see he's clearly working on it as he's going. If anything, so like maybe he's slowing up a little bit, maybe thinking a little too much about it instead of just letting it go.
2-0 count. Foul ball straight back.
I mean, his fastball, on the other hand, is clearly a weapon. I mean, when you're a lefty, it makes it just a little more challenging. But with that extra velo, you know, getting around 90 with that tail, especially to righties going away from you, it's tough to do much with that.
The 2-1. Upstairs and high.
Yeah, you know, I think there's real potential here for that kind of Greg Maddox pitch. He starts inside and kind of breaks into the zone. He's got a lot of late break on that fastball.
3-1 hitters count. White watches it go by. Fastball misses way outside. And Zach White reaches safely for his second time this evening. 6th time so far this season in his 3rd game played.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme. For those who are willing to work their walks in this league, they will saw. We've seen it basically in every game. There's been at least 2 guys that have already walked, you know, twice in every game.
Buckles from the stretch delivers a laser to home plate, coats the inside portion of it for strike 1. It's Michael Cantiliano up for the Giants. Struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 4 so far this season, and he's going to have to battle back here. 2 straight fastballs find the zone, and he's quickly down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Buckles, he's a nightmare to face if you're a lefty. He's, you know, also just a broken bat potential.
He goes to home plate, off-speed pitch, misses the zone again. It seems like every curveball he's thrown is just scooted off of home plate. Has yet to find the strike zone with one of those off-speed pitches.
Yeah, just
now 1-2.
not really getting the depth on that he'd like, of course.
Goes right back to the fastball, just misses outside. Nice call by the home plate umpire. Her TrackMan shows that ball did miss the zone by just a few inches. Count now even, 2-2. It's White on first, one away for the Giants here in the top of the fourth. Fastball right down Broadway is fouled off by Cantiliano.
Yeah, we have him listed as also having a changeup and a slider. Right now, just doing a 2-pitch mix. I think a slider could be very helpful here. Just, little more horizontal break as opposed to straight vertical would make it life a lot harder on the hitters.
Goes to the fastball again. He misses low. Count is full. Cantiliano has worked his way back into it. Seventh pitch of the at-bat incoming. White on first, one away. Does not mean he will go. Buckles delivers. Cantiliano chases. Upstairs, he attempts the second baseman. He goes for it. He's down on strikes. And there's two away here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, gets a much-needed chase there on a fastball out of the zone. And for Buckles, if he's going to be a two-pitch pitcher, he's got to find a way to locate with that off-speed pitch because right now, if hitters can see the spin, they can just, take until they get a strike, making the fastball.
Ball gets away from Redden. Advancing is White. He's now in scoring position. Ryan Maxey with a key chance here to knock in some runs. He has done that once so far this season. Came on a sacrifice fly, though. He's searching for his first hit. Grounded out in the top half of the third. Big spot here for the freshman from Goldie Beacon.
Yeah, we often talk about how that off-speed pitch can make a fastball even better, but in this circumstance, when you're not really getting at any location with the curveball, like I said, if you see the spin, it's going to be a curveball, but you see the seams, and you see a fastball coming in, you said, okay, this is a pitch I know I'm going to have to hit because this is going to be the one in the zone. But, it does help when Buckles is throwing, low 90s to high 80s with great movement on it. He can kind of survive even if the guys know a fastball's coming.
1-0 pitch. That fastball finds the outside part of the zone for strike one. Maxey from Woodsboro, Maryland, went to Georgetown Prep, graduated in 2024, was ranked the second best shortstop by perfect game and the number 9 overall recruit out of Maryland as that ball scoots away from Redden. White advances to third, but Maxey, a whole lot of talent, did not translate this year at St. John's River State, but a chance to really develop this summer and a key chance to help extend this Giants lead. He's up in the count 2-1. Buckles, set, kick, deal, low, 3-1 count. He's had a hard time locating the off-speed. Now having a hard time locating the fastball, he's going to have to work his way back here and risk facing the top of the lineup. That's the way to start it. Foul tip by Maxey. Makes it a 3-2 count. It's Brady Powell who waits in the on-deck circle. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single. Following him is Jaden Brown, who's 2 for 2 with that solo shot in the top of the first.
Yeah, I like Buckles still going to that off-speed pitch. Why not? It's, summer ball. Get a chance to get a feel for it.
3-2. That one, line drive, shortstop. Kiefer there. And Buckles escapes the 2-out jam unscathed. It's still 3-0 Giants after the top of the fourth. Cropdusters have a chance to get on the board.
Yeah, and understandably, no change for the Gaithersburg Giants, leaving Britton Wilderson out there, who has just been absolutely cruising through 3 innings. Gave up the 2 bloops knocks, 1 to Klein that he's kind of fisted off the hands, and of course Henson with that leadoff knock that led to a caught stealing. So, other than the hit by pitch, not really anything to complain about for this outing so far.
Yeah, Kel really had the best piece of hitting on him. It was the last man he faced, and as he was trying to swipe an extra bag, his defense backed him up. 3 hits through 3 innings of work, has struck out 3, only has 1 batter reach really. It came on a hit by pitch on Carter Ritchie's elbow, but he's been working effectively, consistently, and concisively And he deserves a fourth inning of work. He's put up 3 goose eggs in the scoreboard, and his team leads 3-0. Why not leave the righty out there?
Yeah, you know, and against a lineup that's scored 18 runs in 2 games, the offense has not been an issue for them. So it's impressive that he's been able to just shut them down so far. And yeah, you make a good point. Andrew Kale did rip that ball last inning, and I think that's been the one area that he'd like to improve. You know, he's been very, very good, except that one pitch that maybe struggles with is that sometimes he's leaving that sweeper a little bit too much in the wheelhouse because he's trying to start it inside and break it towards the out of the part of the plate. Sometimes, though, he's not getting the break he wants and is ending up towards the middle of the zone or even hitting, you know, a batter. So he's got to make sure to keep finishing that pitch, keeping it towards the outside part of the plate.
3-4-5 due up for the Cropdusters. Heart of the lineup to face Britton Wildison. First pitch of the inning, off speed. Walter way ahead of that. He's down 0-1.
Yeah, kind of a wild hack there by Walter, just nowhere near that one.
He was trying to make it a 2-run game with one swing. Watch the second pitch go by. It's 1-1. Wildison delivers off speed once more. Swing and a miss by Walter. He's quickly down 1-2.
Yeah, really nice changeup. You know, clearly Walter's taking this big swing, but the Giants are realizing that and pitching to him accordingly.
And he's down on strikes. Foul tip right into the glove of White. Make that 4 Ks for Britton Wildison through 3 1/3.
Yeah, Wildison goes right back to the changeup and yeah, really utilizing the aggressiveness that Walter is swinging with to his advantage.
Carter Ritchie due up for the Cropdusters. Was hitting the elbow his first time up. First pitch off speed outside 1-0. So Ritchie has now reached base safely 3 separate times. Batting 667 rather. Coming into tonight. That one coats the outer part of the plate. Ritchie now with an even count 1-1.
Yeah, it's a big pitch. You know, throwing the changeup but able to locate it in the zone, you know, showing that you're still going to have to swing at that pitch. It's not always just going to fall out.
1-1. Off-speed pitch. Right there, 71 off the hand of Wildison. Nice breaking ball there from the righty. Freezes Ritchie. And now another 2-strike count for the Dusters. Ritchie choking up. Wildison moving quickly. He heads to home plate. Off speed. Line drive into left. Redden not going to get there. And Carter Ritchie has a 1-out single.
Yeah, that's exactly the pitch I was talking about. With that off speed, when you're not able to fully get that break, it kind of becomes just a spinner that's just waiting to get hit, especially for a righty. It doesn't get out of the wheelhouse. And it does what a good breaking ball should do by looking tantalizing at first, except it doesn't have the second part of dropping out of the zone. It stays in the wheelhouse and becomes a very hittable pitch for a right-handed hitter.
That was Ritchie's 3rd single of the season. Due up is Luke Kiefer. First pitch breaking ball, tails outside 1-0. Kiefer was 1 for 2 on Wednesday night with an RBI. Walked once. Also had a sacrifice fly. Lone time he got out came on strikes. He's 0 for 1 today. Rolls that one over to the left side and out of play. 1-1 count to the freshman from the University of Maryland. Kiefer went to Northeast High School where he was a 4-time first-team All-County in his 4 years there. And he's ahead in the count, 2-1.
Yeah, you know, for the relief pitcher, you can kind of tell that Wildison a bit on his last legs, losing some velo with the fastball, bullpen getting hot.
He goes right back to the off-speed. It finds that inner part of the zone. Counts now even 2-2.
that is where he's found the continued success, going to the off-speed pitch, being successful despite the lack of velocity on the fastball.
Counts now 3-2 after that one misses outside. Right-handed arm up in the Gaithersburg bullpen. It's Alexander Angelitis. Like the last inning of work for Wilderson. 3-2. That one outside. Kiefer draws the walk. Tie and run coming to the plate in Roan Klein.
Yeah, good patient approach there from Kiefer. Saw the off-speed pitch, but always breaking low and away. And now the tying run's on base for Klein, who already has a base knock on the day.
TJ Brockway going out there to talk to his right-handed pitcher, Britton Wilderson.
Yeah, a good situation here for Klein, a big hitter, someone who loves hitting with runners in score position, loved the chance to take a big swing, and a big swing right now would tie the game up with 2 runners on base in a 3-0 game.
Big spot here for Roan Klein, obviously a big guy. Did not see a whole lot of playing time at Utah this past season, but he can swing it. His senior year of high school, he was named All-State First Team and the Kingo Conference MVP with a 1.219 OPS. He's got power. He knows how to lay barrel to the ball. We saw it early on in the bottom of the second. He hit a single, and he represents the tie and run with 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, I'm not always the biggest believer in righty-lefty being an issue, but with him, he's throwing that sweeper. It could be a good pitch for Klein to hit.
That one off the end of the bat. In comes Orr. Toss to first, and it's off the glove of Rudisil. Darting home is Richie. He slides in safely. Cropdusters tally 1 on the error by Bryce Rudisil.
Yeah, weird play there. You know, obviously not an ideal throw, but certainly one that has to be caught. You know, the error not only leads to Klein getting on base, it leads to Richie coming around to score. So a huge error. And now the Cropdusters have a real chance with 2 runners still on base.
A real big error for Rudisil. Nobody was thrown out there, so it's still 1 away. Runners on the corners now. Klein at first. It's Kiefer on third. Cromartie representing the go-ahead run.
Yeah, that's the last thing a struggling pitcher needs.
Wilderson having a hard time finding the zone. He's quickly down 2-0. A walk here would load the bases for Parker Redden, who had a big chance to add some to the scoreboard early on. 2 men on with 2 away. He went down on strikes then. Looks like he'll get a shot as Cromartie moves up 3-0. After that, breaking ball coaxes the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes, 1 away. 3-1 game here. That pitch finds the outside part of the zone for strike 1. Three balls and a strike. Swing and a miss by Cromartie. Wilderson has worked it back 3-2.
Yeah, late movement, that pitch well out of the zone, but just disguised well. Cromartie comes up empty on the swing.
Big pitch incoming. And he's hung up on strikes. Cromartie down looking. Make that 5 Ks for Britton Wilderson.
Yeah, what a huge pitch. Freezes him on the inside part of the plate. It was in the zone, as TrackMan confirms. Just a great pitch there. Cromartie not able to do much with it.
A gutsy 3-2 pitch. He went off speed. Coats that lower inside part of the zone on Cromartie. And now there's 2 away. Redden watches the first one go by for strike 1. Still runners on the corners, 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Cropdusters down 2. Redden watches that fastball hit the dirt. Scrapes up some chalk.
Yeah, it's really easy to let the moment get to you. You know, you get up, give up the error. You just got 3 straight balls. He could easily have thrown a 4th ball there and just kind of imploded, but instead he took a breath and then threw 3 straight great pitches. And now he's just 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
Redden ahead of that off-speed pitch. It's 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 away. Big spot for Parker Redden. Off goes Klein. Swing and a miss! 2 key spots for Parker Redden. He strikes out on both of them. Gutsy play by Britton Wildison. He keeps it a 2-run game as we enter the top of the 5th. Gaithersburg 3, Olney 1. And another missed chance there for Olney.
Yes, indeed. But I really like the management there by the Giants. You know, letting Wildison get out of that jam, I think it speaks a lot to the trust that these players have and that they're given, because of course, I mean, they're here to get better, and part of getting better is, you know, fighting through the jams and working through tough situations. So I think TJ Brockway, the head coach of the Gaithersburg Giants, should get a lot of credit for sticking with his guy, letting him get out of the jam, and he did a great job there.
Wildison finishes the evening with 6 strikeouts, allows 1 run through 4 innings of work, walked just 1 batter, allowed 4 hits rather. All things considered, a really solid debut from the right-handed pitcher in his first ever start for Gaithersburg. It's Charlie Buckles back on the mound for the Cropdusters. A scoreless top of the 4th for the Florida State commit. He's back out for the top of the 5th.
Yeah,
trying to keep it a 2-run game before these guys dance on the first baseline.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him face the top of the order. They really have been the powerhouse of the lineup so far, leading to, you know, all 3 of the runs. Of course, Jaden Brown, a big factor in that, having the home run and the single that he came around and scored on. Danny Orr with that 2-run double. So he's going to face that 1-2-3, and it's not going to be an easy test, but excited to see how he does it.
Buckles looking a little wild in warm-ups. Due up is the top of the order. For the Giants, it's Brady Powell, Jaden Brown, Danny Orr, 1, 2, 3. All 3 men have recorded at least 1 hit. Jaden Brown, the lone one who's 2 for 2, has that solo shot in the top of the 1st. And then a single later scored on the 2-run double from Danny Orr. A dangerous part of the lineup, Gaithersburg. Another key opportunity to add some more runs. Buckles has the advantage in velocity compared to what they saw with O'Born.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Buckles, and maybe second inning of work he'll be able to kind of find that off-speed pitch a little more. I don't think he's going to go away from it, despite him not really having a great feel for it.
Brady Powell batting from the right-handed batter's box this time up. Watches the first pitch go for strike 1.
Yeah, and that's, you know, what I'm getting at with this league being so important, because in an in-game situation, I'll wait for the pitch.
Buckles moving quickly, finds the zone there, strike 2.
You know, if this is a regional game or, you know, an important one, he probably would abandon that off-speed pitch, but here you get the chance to kind of work on stuff, and I think this is going to be a great chance for Buckles to figure out who he is as a pitcher.
0-2 incoming. That one outside, 1-2.
First changeup we've seen for him.
Brady Powell hit .290 last year with the Giants. He's got 2 base hits so far this season. Just finished his redshirt sophomore season at Radford, where he hit .379 after transferring from George Mason in 2024. He's now worked the count full. It's 3-2. Buckles at risk of letting Powell go and allowing the leadoff man on for a very dangerous Jaden Brown. Full count pitch. Rings him up on strikes. Powell down looking. Key strikeout there from Buckles. And there's one away here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, you know, we saw him kind of brace for impact like the ball was going to hit him, or at least try to move out of the way of it. And then you see that late movement. That's exactly the pitch I was talking about. You know, it starts in on the righties and just moves towards the zone. Great pitch.
Jaden Brown up now for Gaithersburg. Watches the first one go low. It's 1-0. Buckles moving quickly. Kicks, deals. That one hits the plate. Brown watches. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, consecutive curveballs there, unable to get either of them in the zone. But clearly, that's the game plan on Jaden Brown. Despite him hitting a home run on the curveball, still attacking him with that off-speed pitch.
2 balls and no strikes. That one, a little dribbler to the second base bag. Will Henson there, scoop, throw, and Brown is retired.
Yeah, real nice play from Henson. Just gets it in and out so easily. And also, that's more of the same thing we're seeing from that fastball. Looks like it's going to be, you know, towards the middle of the plate, but just that late movement gets it off the barrel and forces that, you know, weakly hit ground ball.
Danny Orr due up for the Giants. He's 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double. That came in the top of the third. First pitch swinging, skied out to right. It's foul and out of play. Buckles up in the count once more, 0-1. 88 on that fastball. Velo kicking up for the lefty. Moving quickly. Not taking any time. Goes to home. That one in there. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Or right back in the batter's box. Buckles gets the signal. A slight grin. He feels good. Pause. Lift. Kick. Outside.
Still feeling good, though. You can tell he's pitching loose. He's smiling. He's got a good feeling about himself as he's on the mound.
The 1-2. In there. Strike 3. And the side is retired. A pair of backwards Ks for Charlie Buckles leaves Gaithersburg empty-handed in the top of the 5th. Lead still 3-1 Giants after the top of the 5.
I mean, this is a 19-year-old kid who's used to playing against high school guys, playing against really solid college players and just making them look silly. I mean, they have no idea against that fastball.
Buckles will get to rest as the other 37 members of the Cropdusters do the Cotton Eye Joe.
How about the ball boy knowing it too?
Yeah, that's how you do it. All right, let's hear it for your Cropdusters.
Flawlessly executed as it was last night.
You know, they always talk about rally caps, rally chants. Maybe this will be a rally dance for the Dusters. They need it. They're down 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. New arm in for the Giants. It's number 32, Hudson Green. Left-handed pitcher from Wesleyan University making his first appearance this season for Gaithersburg. Appeared twice in his freshman year at college. Posted a 15.43 ERA and 2 1/3 innings pitched. Allowed 4 hits, also allowed 4 runs. Walked 3, allowed a homer. Opponents hit .333 against him.
Yeah, pretty funky motion. Really, you know, rears the ball back and then kind of gets low with it. Would not expect, you know, a lot of straight fastballs coming in.
He's not a guy known for velocity. Standing 6 foot 180. His fastball is listed around the high 70s. So definitely more of a junk ball pitcher, as we're seeing about 76, 77 on our gun. Big spot for the Cropdusters, as it's going to be Ahmad Duff leading off. Struck out his first time up.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see, and it's, you know, it's good to know for a lot of these younger players who maybe might be watching or might be interested. There's not one way to be successful. You know, you don't have to be that 90-mile-an-hour arm. A lot of these guys who have actually been more successful are the ones that know how to locate their stuff. It does not necessarily have to be, you know, guys who are blessed with the ability to throw 90 plus. I mean, this guy's throwing, you know, 76, but even, you know, Wilterson was mainly hitting 82, 83, and found a lot of success over 4 innings of work.
Hudson Green working with a fastball, changeup, curveball arsenal. He'll open his evening up against Ahmad Duff. 0 for 5 to start his season. Green comes set. And the pitch. Skied out to left. On the run is Powell. That one foul and out of play. An absolute laser off the bat of Ahmad Duff.
But Duff, I mean, just not necessarily big in stature, but he makes up for it with his power as he absolutely drilled that pitch.
74-mile-per-hour fastball right down the zone. Duff nearly made him pay. He's right on it. Green has to be a little rattled after that first swing. The 0-1, off speed, upstairs. A ball and a strike.
64 miles an hour, so certainly a velo drop from what we've been seeing.
He's definitely no Nolan Ryan. Could be a little bit of R.A. Dickey, though. We'll see. 1-1 pitch. Duff fouls it straight back.
You know that you don't toss around that name lightly. Unless you're rocking a nasty knuckleball. I don't know if I want to hear that comparison. That's a Cy Young Award winner right there.
One of the few Cy Young Award winners this century who couldn't throw a fastball over 90. The 1-2 count. That one in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ahmad Duff.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the adjustments that these hitters are going to make. Because even the difference between 81 and 76 is a lot. You know, we saw Henson, how he was far back in the box. He was last at bat. Duff now all the way in the front. I'm excited to see if Henson is going to change up where he stands.
Here's the pitch. Duff goes opposite field. On the run is Krieger. He's under it. And Duff is retired on the flyout.
Yeah, it doesn't want that thing just kind of sort of stood up long enough that it was able to be a relatively easy play. It just looked like that thing may have had extra bases on it, though.
Will Henson do up? He's 1 for 2 tonight. Looks like he'll line up in the back part of the box.
Yeah, you know, often for hitters, that's not even about velo. It's just where they like to stand, where they feel more comfortable actually getting to the ball and hitting it from.
One away here in the bottom of the 5th. That one hits Henson. Green loses control of the off-speed pitch, 66 miles per hour off the hip of Will Henson, and he'll take first base.
Yeah, I believe that was the rare case where that actually hit his back leg. The sweeper kind of coming into him, and you know, not inside enough when he's got that front leg, but that late break gets him right on the inner thigh area.
Tying run to the plate, it's Andrew Kell. Henson on for his 4th time this season. First time he's been hit by a pitch. In steps Andrew Kell. Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Kell represents the tying run. He hit 8 home runs this year at Salisbury State.
Yeah, favorable matchup for him. We know he's able to sit on an off-speed pitch. Could get one here.
He gets another fastball. Similar location, 2 balls and no strikes.
You're asking what the fastball speed is? Yeah, 75.
2-0. That one inside. Hitters count for Kell, 3 balls, no strikes. Henson on first. He was caught stealing early on. Unlikely to go again. There's 1 away. Cade Walter waits in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, you know, he's been their most successful hitter. Why not let him get a green light? Doesn't matter anyway.
Does not matter. Andrew Kell watches 4 straight pitches. Miss the zone. Olney applying some pressure here in the bottom of the 5th. We talked about a rally dance. They have 2 men on with 1 out.
Yeah,
and
you know,
big bat stepping in Cade Walter.
We learned a little bit more about Cade Walters' story. You know, last time he really played consistent baseball was sophomore year of high school, and that's when he committed to Jacksonville. Just a lieu of injuries for Walter just has kept him out of of the game, but finally getting a chance to play consistent baseball.
Tore his ACL 4 days before his senior high school season started, then had a heart operation as he was rehabbing that ACL injury, and then right before his freshman season at Jacksonville broke his hand. So really the first time he's getting action. He's 1 for 4 so far this season heading into tonight. He's 0 for 2 this evening. Both runners go. Throw down to third. Henson, he's in there safely.
Yeah,
A
really
solid
good
jump by Will Henson. He swipes third. Cal follows him to second base. 2 men in scoring position for the Cropdusters with 1 away.
Now base hit ties the game now. Heads up base running there by Henson, the veteran, seeing that pitcher not really aware of him.
Walter, that one in on his hands. Coats the inside part of the zone, strike 1. A ball and a strike. 2 men on, 1 away. Big spot here for the Cropdusters. Green in some trouble. He goes home. Cal fouls it off. Or Walter, rather. Fouls that one off. He's now down 1 and 2.
He's going to be frustrated with that. That pitch did have some plate, just kind of threw the bat at it and checked it. He's lucky that thing didn't end up in fair territory. That would have been extremely frustrating, but he gets a second chance here.
Green comes set. Exhales, heads home. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Really nice take there. Not a bad pitch. Stayed in the zone for a long time. It's tough to take a pitch like that, but good composure there from Walter despite the big situation.
2 balls, 2 strikes for the left fielder. Swing and a miss. 64-mile-per-hour breaking ball. Walter's ahead of it. He's down on strikes, and there's 2 away here for the Cropdusters. And I'm not sure if you'd rather have any other man up if you're the Cropdusters than this guy right here. The senior Carter Ritchie, experienced. He's been your best hitter so far through 3 games. He's been all over the country playing baseball. He spends his summer this year in Olney, and with a chance to tie this thing up with 2 men on and 2 outs. Green goes home. Ritchie, powerful swing, fouls that one right back to the right side.
Yeah, Ritchie has just basically been impossible to get out in these first 2 games. He's 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch today. He got on base 3 times last game, 2 hits and a walk, so it would be quite the job by Green if he's able to get these 2 huge outs and keep the lead.
0-1 pitch. Finds the zone, 69 on the changeup. Seems like the change of velocity is really freezing the middle of the lineup for the Cropdusters.
Yeah, this lack of velocity is something that, for these guys, it's unclear the last time they've seen someone, throw this, with this speed. So something they're going to have to make an adjustment, but they got to do it now.
Ritchie chokes up. Fouls that one off down the third base line and out of play. It's Henson on third, Kell on second. Ritchie just trying to knock this one into play.
Regardless of velocity, just got to keep the same approach. Do not want to extend the zone for any off-speed pitches. When the ball comes to you, just got to find a way to do something with it. That's same rules apply no matter what the speed is.
0-2 outside. Ritchie takes a ball and 2 strikes. Slight shade by Jaden Brown in second to the left of the second base bag. Right center gap wide open. Green moves fast, goes home. Ritchie right to the shortstop. Weird hop base hit. Henson scores. Rounding third is Kell. He will score and the game is tied. Carter Ritchie does it again. 2 RBIs from the designated hitter. And we're all level. It's a brand new ball game. 3-3. A huge inning for the Dusters.
Yeah, that ball was hit 92 miles an hour, so by no means a softly hit ball. But Ryan Maxey just kind of olayed that one. Does not get in front of it. Tries to go for that kind of big pick with a big glove movement. Certainly not the way you're taught to field a 1-hop. And it cost him 2 runs and the lead.
A key mistake there for Maxey. Obviously a hard hit ball. Cropdusters still on the attack. It's 3-3. Runner on first with 2 away for Luke Kiefer. who's 0 for 1 tonight. He's walked and grounded into a fielder's choice. Green goes home. He's now down 2-0 to Luke Kiefer.
Yeah, as it often does, the walks come back to haunt Green. A hit by pitch and a walk, and both those runners come out to score. It just seems to often work out that way, that guys who get on base by the walk score at a disproportional amount.
2-0 count. Green finds the zone. 2 balls and a strike now. Richie still on first. Tension building. Now 3-1. This crowd is ready to explode if the Dusters take the lead. Rowan Klein waits in the on-deck circle. Reached base safely 2 times. The 3-1. Fouled straight back. Kiefer loses control of the bat. Throws it over his left shoulder. He'll go retrieve it.
Yeah, impressed that he was able to still make contact despite throwing the bat in the process.
Awkward swing. Kiefer returns to the batter's box for a full count. 3-2, 2 outs. Richie will go on the pitch. He's not being held. Off he goes. Fly ball to left field and out of play. Kiefer and Duff similar swings ahead of that. But he'll live to see another pitch. Still 3-2.
Yeah, it's a great swing. I mean, he was all over that fastball in the inner. You know, Green went inside, tried to kind of freeze him on a pitch inside, but just Kiefer all over that one, hit it 98 miles an hour.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Off goes Richie again. Kiefer goes around on the upstairs cheese. Key strikeout by Hudson Green keeps it a 3-3 ball game as Kiefer is down on strikes for his 2nd time this season. But it's a brand new ball game as we head to the top of the 6th.
Yes, you know, similar to, eerily similar, I feel like, to their first game where against the South County Braves, but it's kind of the pitchers kept them in it and able to kind of chip away, and now they got a tie ball game, and you got to feel pretty good. I mean, they've scored in the last 2 innings, and you got a guy on the mound who has just shut out the Giants so far, and Buckles.
Buckles has been stellar through 2 innings of work. He shut down this Gaithersburg offense that was really attacking Ryan O'Bourne early on. Buckles has come in, have been extremely solid. He struck out 3, retired the side last inning, and now faces 4-5-6. Aaron Babayev will lead things off for the Giants. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to the right side.
Yeah, and you know, last inning he made quick work of the top of the order, which is not just an impressive feat on its own right. He also has already faced the toughest part of the lineup, so on paper maybe another quick inning could be in the cards for him.
So as we mentioned, it is Aaron Babayev. He's got 1 hit and 7 at-bats this season. It was a double. Buckles goes home. Fastball just misses. It's 1-0.
Yeah, the Giants lineup has been a little bit top-heavy today. I mean, they have 4 hits, all of them coming from the first 3 guys in the lineup.
It's yielded 3 runs. Buckles going home. That one in the dirt. Scoots away from Parker Redden. Babayev up 2-0. Spent his freshman season at San Mateo College. Transferred before the season began, was initially supposed to play at Tulane. Scoots that one over to the left side. Cromartie scoops, throw to first. Klein comes off the bag, but keeps the toe on. Nice stretch by the first baseman, as the throw by R.J. Cromartie nearly drew Rowan Klein off the bag. Pulls a ballerina act, keeps the toe on, and saves another R.J. Cromartie error.
Yeah, if you know the first baseman Klein doing his job, doing what he's supposed to do, and protecting his fielders, you know, saving them from an unfortunate mishap.
It's Magnus Krieger. That one outside. Krieger 0 for 2. Buckles working from the windup. He goes home. Fastball misses just outside. It's 2-0. Brand new ball game as we're in the 6th inning. Clouds starting to settle over here. Threats of rain potentially looming.
Yeah, you know, we had some thunder earlier in the day. I got a little nervous that this would be affected, but it cleared up, but could be coming back for round 2 soon.
3-0 count. Buckle's going to have to come back here. That's a nice way to start it. Fastball nets the outer part of the zone for strike 1. 3-1 pitch. Make it 3-2. And Charlie Buckles has worked his way back into this count. Magnus Krieger has still yet to record a hit this season. Had 24 of them and 20 walks his freshman year at Seton Hall. The 3-2. Outside. And Krieger draws his second walk of the season, and he'll trot on over to first base.
The first baseman, number 50 from Mount St. Mary's, Bryce Rudisill.
Yeah, just again missing that fastball high and away in this 3rd inning. He's already done that a couple times. So you know, if you do that here, you're gonna be it's a hit by pitch. You got to find a way to make an adjustment.
Buckles will miss there. 1-0. It's Bryce Rudisill up for the Giants. 0 for 2 tonight. Came into this game 1 for 4. Buckles' fastball knots the count even at 1-1. It's Babayev on first. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt, scooped, throw down by Redden, and he's safe. Delayed call by the second base umpire. Crowd didn't like it. Kiefer thought he got the tag down. An absolutely great throw after a tremendous pick by Parker Redden. Second base umpire says that Krieger slid in safely. So now there's a runner on second, 2-1 count. Big spot here for Bryce Rudisill. Buckles delivers, fouled straight back, 2-2.
Obviously we don't have a good angle just in terms of if the runner is sliding behind the glove, but regardless, what an amazing play. That ball was spiked with some serious velocity, and Redden's ability to pick it and then throw it in one motion, you know, flawlessly and aimlessly was super impressive. Got to call him out there just for the highlight.
The 2-2 rolled over, out of play. Rudisill will see another. Unfortunately, our production budget is not large enough so we can go to New York and get that call reviewed.
Give it a couple years. I mean, we got a new stadium this year. Who knows what we got in store for the next ones.
Lots of updates around the ballpark for 2025. 2-2 pitch. Skied out to right. Kell on the run. Tagging up is Krieger. High throw, Cromartie's there. Krieger well safe.
Yeah, you know, Andrew Kell loves a chance to show off his arm. We know he's got a strong one.
He's shown it off so far this season. Just a little too deep there, especially when working with the speed of Magnus Krieger. So the sacrifice fly by Bryce Rudisill brings up Zach White, the catcher. He's reached base safely 2 times, 1 on an error, 1 on a walk, trying to knock in a run. Swing and a miss on the fastball.
Yeah, and something that the Cropdusters have done really well is 2-out RBI. They tied the game thanks to a Carter Ritchie 2-out knock. A chance now for the Gaithersburg Giants to try to take the lead with a 2-out knock.
White has 3 knocks so far this year. That one lined out to left. Walter right there, and the inning is over. Top 6 done. Gaithersburg up empty-handed. Charlie Buckles ends his night. 3 innings pitched, no earned runs allowed, 3 strikeouts. A really impressive performance from a guy who hasn't even seen the mound at the collegiate level.
Yeah, it's all you could hope for, and I mean, such an exciting part of this team. He's certainly one of the many players that I will be focusing on this summer. But yeah, just all you could hope for. 3 innings, and nothing. Did a great job of being the bridge to whoever is going to close this game out for the Cropdusters, hopefully. But also just kind of righted the storm after giving up 2 runs in the 3rd inning. Cropdusters were down, 3-0 when he entered the ball game, and he did a great job just keeping them in it, giving them time to find their groove, and then they did so in last inning, tying the game.
So we hinted at it earlier. Alexander Angelitis was in the Gaithersburg bullpen warming up prior to the 6th inning, or prior to the 5th inning rather. Instead it was Green who came in. Now Angelitis getting his chance on the rubber. A little bit more velocity from the right-hander.
Despite him only standing at 5'8", 155. Still able to bring it, which is, impressive. It's a full...
His fastball listed around 87, topping out at 92. Slider around 78 to 81, changeup working from 77 to 79. Redshirt sophomore is currently in the transfer portal. Was recently part of Merrimack, did not play in 2025. His freshman year he spent at Hartford, where he posted a 5.17 ERA in 9 appearances. No wins, 1 loss in 15 2/3 innings of work. Allowed 15 hits and 9 runs. Walked 9, struck out 10. Opponents hit 273 against him.
So yet to fully get a chance to, show off the pitcher he believes he is, and the stuff backs it up. So a good chance over this summer to kind of prove to some college teams that he has the ability to be an effective pitcher at the college level.
It'll be Roan Klein leading things off here in the bottom of the 6th. He's reached base safely 2 times, 1 on an error where he knocked in a run, hit a single in the bottom of the 2nd.
From Merrimack College, wearing jersey number 9, Alexander Angelitis. And batting for your Cropdusters, the first baseman number 30, Roan Klein.
No walk-up music. Klein trots right into the left-handed batter's box. Quick pitch. Sky to the shortstop. Shallow left field. And Powell will take it instead. Waves off Maxey in shallow left. And Klein down on 1 pitch.
Your Cropdusters, the third baseman number 33 from the University of Notre Dame, R.J. Cromartie.
Now here's a guy that's really trying to get his rhythm going, R.J. Cromartie. He's struggled in the field. He's struggled at the plate. Has only reached base safely 1 time. It came on a walk. Big chance for him to get his rhythm going and help his team out.
Yeah, the bottom of the order today has yet to really show much there. A combined 0 for 8, and that's 7, 8, 9. Each at least with 1 strikeout. Third time around, maybe a chance to change their fate.
Cromartie watches 2 straight balls and is up in the count 2-0. Struck out his last time up, was froze on the 3rd pitch, and hit a weak dribbler that Zach White scooped up right in front of home plate in his first at-bat. He's got a solid count here. It's 3-0. Fastball scoots upstairs. Angelitis having a tough time locating so far.
Yeah, missing up in all 3 of these pitches.
The 3-0. upstairs. Cromartie walks on 4 pitches.
Yeah, easy there. You know, nothing that Cromartie would even consider swinging at.
And here's a guy who's had plenty of chances tonight, has failed to capitalize on any of them. It's Parker Redden. Both times up he's had men on, and both times up he's came short striking out.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy to see Wilderson out of the game. That sweeper caused him a lot of trouble. But I think he'll be facing a pitcher who's more, you know, about that fastball and Angelitis. So maybe a better chance for him to attack a fastball in the zone.
Angelitis checked on Cromartie. He was safe. He'll now go home. That ball skied out to left center. Powell and Brown both on the run. Powell takes it himself. And another 1 pitch out for the Cropdusters. Parker Redden 0 for 3, that time coming out on a fly ball to left. And in steps Ahmad Duff. Was really close to an extra base hit in the bottom of the 5th. Just went foul. Ended up skying out to right. 2 outs here with a chance to keep this inning going for a guy that just entered the transfer portal after spending his first year at Alabama.
Yeah, you know, did not get an at-bat there. Chance to get some playing time this summer, still kind of getting his groove back. As you saw last at-bat, he saw those consecutive sweepers that he swung and missed at. That time, though, able to hold back on the sweepers. That was his 4th straight one that he's seen, including that you know. But he's a fastball hitter. You get him a fastball in the zone, he definitely will take a big hack at it.
It's 1-1. Swing and a miss there. Scoots away from White. He'll throw down to second. Too late. Cromartie is already there. Duff with a runner in scoring position. White just seemed to lose track of that one. It was right by his feet. And by the time that he scooped it up and threw it down to Ryan Maxey, R.J. Cromartie was already sliding in safely.
Yeah, we know that Duff struggled against that, you know, curveball sweeper, whatever you want to call it, that's started in the zone and broke away. I think that, you know, White, having caught the whole game, is aware of that. Wouldn't be shocked if it goes to it right here.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Shutting him down is Alexander Angelitis. And the Cropdusters come up empty-handed once more.
Yeah, he went with a heater. He challenged Duff, and he paid off. Nice pitch in the high fastball in the top of the zone.
It's still 3-3 as we head to the top of the 7th. New arm coming in for the Cropdusters.
Yeah, and you see that a late discussion between pitcher and catcher, and that's just kind of the state of how it has to be right now. These two most likely have not thrown with each other yet, still trying to, you know, get comfortable with each other.
It's Onel Santiago Cruz coming in for the Dusters. Cruz played yesterday at third base. He went 1 for 5. Scored a run. Did not see a whole lot of action at the plate in his freshman year at Richmond. But Santiago Cruz did see some time on the mound. Made 11 appearances, 9 innings pitched, an 11 ERA. Allowed 11 runs, walked 4, struck out 8 opponents at .306 against him.
Yeah, you know, he's got the strikeout stuff. 8 strikeouts in only 9 innings, but the hits were an issue for him, giving up 11 in 9 innings at Richmond. But, you know, we talked about it for a couple guys. For a first-year player to be getting that much game time at a competitive D1 school speaks to the faith they have in him and the talent that he clearly has. So I'm excited to see Santiago Cruz here.
Onel Santiago Cruz working with a fastball, changeup, curveball, slider repertoire. Fastball ranging from 88 to 90 miles an hour, topping out at 91. Changeup anywhere from 77 to 79. Curveball around that 78 miles an hour range. And then the slider similar spot velocity-wise. So a very nice arsenal.
All right, that's fantastic. His favorite part is talking to the players before the game. I need to call the next batter, but you are the fan of the game. Batting for the Giants, second baseman Michael Cantiliano.
So it's Michael Cantiliano. He's gone down 2 times on strikes tonight. Third plate appearance for the second baseman. Still searching for his first hit. Santiago Cruz, fastball way upstairs, nearly takes the home plate umpire's head off.
Yeah.
Cantiliano just watches it go by. It's 1-0.
Quite the first pitch for Angel Santiago Cruz, you know. Just, you know, often just takes one to get settled.
It sure does. That fastball finds the zone. 89 off the hand of Santiago Cruz. Count squared, 1-1. No shift for the Dusters. Off-speed pitch breaks just outside. 73 on that curveball. 2 balls and a strike. Cantiliano has walked once this year. Delivery home, that one low. Cantiliano up 3-1, hitters count. Game still knotted 3-3. Just 3 outs away from the 7th inning stretch. Cantiliano fouls that one straight back, hits the webbing, bounces back into the field of play. Counts now full 3-2. 9-hitter Ryan Maxey waits in the on-deck circle. Brady Powell in the hole, the leadoff man. Top of the lineup for the Giants, very dangerous. Has to get through Cantiliano first. Off speed, fouled back once more. You know, if you're Santiago Cruz, you really want to get at least one of these guys, 8 or 9, because that top of the lineup for the Giants has been lethal, each recording at least 1 base hit.
Yeah, you know, you do not want to give in to the 8-hitter who struck out twice. You got to just keep the ball in the strike zone.
3-2. Skied high, shallow left. Under it is Kiefer, makes the play, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, good job by Santiago Cruz to stay in the zone after, you know, and that's what's so funny about baseball and pitching. I mean, you could throw one pitch completely out of the zone, as bad as possible, and yet it's all the same as throwing one just a millisecond out of the zone. Still has got to throw 3 more of those for it to really matter.
Ryan Maxey steps in, off-speed pitch. He'll watch it scoot by his feet. 1-0 count. Santiago Cruz working awfully fast from the stretch.
Yeah, kind of a classic bullpen tempo.
The 1-0. That one misses the zone. 87 out of the hand of Santiago Cruz. Just outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, he's pretty straight up, pretty also closed off, kind of got his front leg coming in a little bit, trying to get some extra power on the extension.
That one skied out to shallow left again. In is Duff. Kiefer under it. He makes the play once more. 2 straight flyouts to the shortstop out of Maryland. And we talked about the importance of getting through the bottom of the order, at least getting 1 guy out. Santiago Cruz exceeds our expectations, gets 2, and now faces Brady Powell with 2 away.
Yeah, just attacking those 2 hitters was an electric fastball, and you can see they're not really able to get anything good on that.
That one scoots in the dirt to Powell. He's 1 for 3 tonight with a single. Struck out looking his last time up.
Yeah, still trying to find that sweeper. Right now has been more of a fastball only in the zone.
A ball and no strikes. That one bounces well in front of home plate. Santiago Cruz loses control of it. A dangerous guy waiting in the on-deck circle. It's Jaden Brown. He's 2 for 3 tonight. His 2 for 3 entering today. So still batting .667 on the year. That one skied to right field. On the run is Kell. In foul territory, and it goes in the bullpen. Kell jumps off the fence to stop his speed. Now a 2-1 count. Powell was right on that one, just a tad late. 2-1 count and coming to the leadoff man. Santiago Cruz takes the sign, comes set. Deep breath, pause, kick, delivery. Off speed, finds the zone for strike 2.
Yeah, really nice pitch. Sharp break there. Late as well, and just tough pitch to do anything with it, especially after you see the 2 earlier just drop in the dirt.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Quick delivery, rolled over. Kiefer on the run, throw to first, and he's out. An interesting call. Looked like Brady Powell was in there safely. Instead, the side is retired. A nice play by Luke Kiefer ends the top of the 7th, and now it's time to stretch.
Yeah, some of the umpire was kind of in 2 minds there. It took a little extra to make that call. Similar to the play at second base, but of course Santiago Cruz will take it, and the Cropdusters in a prime position to take the lead.
Definitely a close call. Doesn't go the Giants' way.
But with
That's 5 straight scoreless innings for Gaithersburg.
Ahmad Duff finishing the inning, so now we got top of the order up for the Cropdusters. We know that Will Henson's been a bit of a spark plug. He was a part of the rally that got them those 2 runs. The hit by pitch, and then he led that double steal that, of course, ended up being so big. Carter Ritchie's base hit tied the game because of it. So with Henson, Kell, and then Ritchie later in the inning, 3 guys that have already contributed today, and all the reason to think they could do so again.
A 3-3 ball game. Clock just struck 8:30 here.
Yeah,
Lights are starting to do their job. Clouds starting to scatter. Top of the lineup for the Dusters. It's Will Henson, who'll be going against Alex Angelitis.
A much different game speed than we had last night. Today we were cruising. I think we were another hour in at this point yesterday.
A lot more walks yesterday, a lot more runs. This one definitely more of a pitching duel. Gaithersburg has been shut down after a hot start. Olney's kind of been chippy. They've knocked away at this lead, tied it in the bottom of the 5th. Now a chance to take the lead with the top of the order here in the bottom of the 7th. 0-1 to Henson. He fouls that one off. 2 straight foul balls by the second baseman. Puts him down 0-2.
Yeah. Just a real aggressive motion by Angelitis. He's got to find a way to get some speed going with just the small stature, and he does so really using his whole body.
The 0-2. Off speed. Ground to third base. Scooped up. Throw to first. Got him. Nice stretch there by Bryce Rudisill at the first base bag. Throw by Danny Orr bounced in the dirt. Nice defensive play all the way around. Will Henson down on the ground out.
And how about a little bit of Johnny Cueto action there, putting his leg up and just holding it there, trying to confuse Henson's timing. He was still on it, though, but I like that, the little bit of trickery there from the Giant pitcher.
Being resourceful as Kell fouls the opening pitch fastball right back into the webbing for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to the right fielder. Cade Walter waits in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. Kell ahead of the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that's a hard sweeper there. You know, some decent velo for a pitch with that much movement on it. Kell just a little bit confused by it.
No balls and 2 strikes to Andrew Kell. The 0-2. Inside, hits Kell. A little bit of a break there for the Cropdusters. Kell reached base safely for the 3rd time tonight. And now Cade Walter, who had been on before as he's come up, can finally capitalize. He's 0 for 3, struck out twice. But now a chance for the Jacksonville product to really make some noise.
Yeah, it hasn't been his day yet, but we know he has the ability. When he hit that triple in his only other start.
Rolled over to the right side, scooped up, throw to second, gets 1.
Believe it hit him in the box, so. The first base ump made the call.
Are they going to call this back? They're going to rule this a foul ball. It bounced off Walter's leg before Rudisil scooped it up and threw it to Maxey at second. So Kell will retreat to first. Walter will now be down 0-1 in the count.
So second life for Walter.
He'll watch that one blow right past him. 82 on the fastball.
You see, he's a little frustrated with himself there. Hits himself in the head. He's just kind of in between 2 minds. Can't really decide between the fastball or off-speed pitch. And he's got to figure it out now in this big spot.
No balls and 2 strikes. Kell acts as if he's going to steal. Does not. Fastball upstairs.
But that's important for Kell. I mean, he got a huge lead there. Definitely trying to time the pitcher there. And if he does that again, you think he's going to be stealing. Because you got to steal on the pitcher here. You cannot steal on White. He's just too good. You have to get too good of an. You have to get a really good jump if you're going to steal on White.
1-2 pitch incoming. Off goes Kell. Throw down to second. Low, scoot. Ricochets off the foot of Kell. He's in there safely.
Yeah, you know, I think that's kind of a lapse by the Giants' whole infield there. I mean, he clearly, Kell was timing up Angelitis. He was doing what he could to get a big jump. Pretty clear that he was trying to steal the next pitch. You got it. Someone's got to say you got to throw over, at least take a look at him, because he was able to take another walking lead and steal second relatively easily.
Tie ball game, 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 count to Cade Walter. Angelitis comes set. Go home. Ball outside. Full count, 3-2, 1 away. Andrew Kell stands on second base. He can absolutely fly.
Yeah.
Base hit likely ties the game.
It's just what Walter wanted. He can sit fastball here.
3-2. Upstairs, inside, Walter draws the walk. And out comes TJ Brockway. Gonna talk things over with his right-handed pitcher.
Yeah, and nobody else that the Cropdusters would rather have up than Carter Ritchie, who just once again has looked so good at the plate. Happened in the last game and has done so again. I mean, he has really made his claim to be this team's starting catcher.
Home plate umpire really letting them discuss here as he cleans off home plate. Now we'll start to walk to the pitcher's mound.
Long meeting here.
Couple arms up and getting loose in the Gaithersburg bullpen. They'll stick with Angelitis.
The designated hitter number 36 from Virginia Commonwealth University, Carter Ritchie.
Yeah, you know, we already saw the Cropdusters do a double steal once. This could be a situation for another one, especially with Kell's clear ability to time up a pitcher and also to the great speed he has.
It's Carter Ritchie up. He tied it in the bottom of the fifth with a 2 RBI single. A chance to take the lead here for the Cropdusters. First pitch to Ritchie. In the dirt, scoots in front of Zach White. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, something I've been really impressed with Ritchie is, although he's gotten hits in many key occasions, he's also not afraid to take his walks. You know, he actually had that go-ahead walk in their game against the South County Braves, and that was a really nice at-bat, just fouling off some tough pitches, but also taking ones that are out of the zone.
1-0 pitch. That one coats the outside part of the plate. A ball and a strike. Andrew Kell on second. Cade Walter on first. Both men can fly. They play the outfield. Carter Ritchie, the designated hitter, up. He's reached base safely 3 times tonight. He's only been retired once this season. He's now down 1-2 in the count.
That is a really nice pitch just to drop in there. You know, pitch track says just a little bit outside, but, you know, you can totally understand giving that call. It's a nice pitch.
Nice frame by White as well. 1-2 pitch to Ritchie incoming. Angelitis takes his time. Comes set. Exhales. Checks second. Lifts his leg. Goes home. Ritchie fouls it straight back.
Yeah, staying away from him. They know, you know, Ritchie's, it's tough to beat him inside. He's got such a fast bat that you're really going to have to kind of surprise him to get a swing and miss on an inside pitch. So, understandably staying away from him.
Angelitis has not relinquished a run through 1 1/3. The 1-2. Outside and low. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men on, 3-3 ball game, bottom of the 7th. Both the runners go. Ritchie past the second baseman, base hit. Kell will score. Holding at third is Walter. Carter Ritchie does it again. A go-ahead single in the bottom of the 7th, and the Cropdusters lead 4-3.
Yeah, I mean, they chose just the perfect time for the double steal. The runner's in motion. You saw the second baseman go to second base. You know, I talked about it yesterday. In that situation, maybe you want to hold off just a little bit, especially with that being the back runner. Just kind of hold your position with that fastball coming in. Second baseman there, maybe if he stays a little bit longer, he's able to at least keep that ball in front of him. But regardless, really smart baseball, and Ritchie doing exactly what he has to do.
And it was that double steal that really drew Michael Cantiliano away from that usual spot to the right of second base. Carter Ritchie knocks a ground ball right in that hole. 1 run scores. Walter advances to third, and just another clutch hit from the senior. It's Luke Kiefer in now for the Cropdusters. He's got a 1-1 count.
I mean,
4-3 ball game. Dusters with their first lead after falling behind 3-0.
Ritchie has just been automatic, and now he's taking second.
Kiefer, ground ball, scooped up Maxey. Long throw to first. It's over the head of the first baseman. 1 run scores. Ritchie heads to third. It's 5-3 Cropdusters.
Yeah.
Everybody's safe. What an inning for Olney, and it looks like Alexander Angelitis' night has come to a close.
I mean, this is Cropduster baseball. We were talking about it pregame, what was working well for them. You know, we talked about it, how it was the chaos on the bases, putting pressure on the runners, putting pressure on the fielders, putting pressure on the pitching staff. Whether it's, you know, doesn't have to be extra base hits, it can just be singles and smart base running. They've done it again tonight, running their way into a lead. You know, great job by Kell swiping third, leading to the double steal. Great job by Ritchie putting the ball in play, and that's what they've done. They've put the ball in play. They've forced tough plays by the Giants. And, you know, if you can pitch the way they have, when you play that small ball, when you play that way that puts a lot of pressure, it's tough to beat a team like that in 9 innings.
It's really hard to throw it away and over the head of Bryce Rudizel. He stands 6'2". Obviously, Ryan Maxey rushed for a throw there. It was deep in the hole. Quick fire. And he's lucky that nobody really advanced too much farther on the base paths. Obviously, Ritchie was already running. He made it to third. Kiefer would have been safe probably regardless. So all things considered, Ryan Maxey a little bit fortunate that overthrow was not more costly.
Yeah, you know, I'm getting some deja vu. A seventh inning where the Cropdusters take the lead and put a big spot on. They've just, this what they've done in late in game. They've just, you know, it's kind of a war of attrition is what baseball often is, and they've been able to just kind of hold off a team long enough until the offense is able to you know, create some chaos. And once again, now they are in a great spot to take a, you know, a 3-0 start on the year. But right now with first and third, the inning is far from over.
It's Jadis Ovalis in for the Giants. Rough spot, runners on the corners, one away for Roan Klein. Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch gets Klein ahead of it. Ovalis has pitched 1 inning so far this summer, struck out 2, allowed no runs. 0-1 pitch. Off goes Kiefer. That one to Maxey. He's not going to have a play.
And it happens again for the Cropdusters. It's the perfect time to steal. Smart hitting, just putting the ball in play, and just because of the stolen pace, nothing to do.
Richie in to score. It's now 6-3 Cropdusters, and the hit and run has really been effective, knocking it right where the middle infielders are covering the bag, finding holes. Roan Klein reaches base again, his second knock of the day, second RBI, and now it's R.J. Cromartie's turn to try and add to this. 2 men on, 1 out. Fastball in there for strike 1. Ovalis working with a 4-seam and a 2-seam, both reaching around 85 to 88. Slider hanging around 74, changeup around 77. The 0-1 pitch. Cromartie knocks it into left base hit. Rounding third is Kiefer. He's heading home. Throw late. Cropdusters lead 7-3 thanks to a 4-run bottom of the 7th from Olney.
Yeah, an aggressive send by Coach Leader, and it pays off. Good hitting there from R.J. Cromartie, who's been a bit cold to start the year, but that time he noticed the off-speed pitch, sat on it, and drilled it the other way. Great piece of hitting on the curveball. Exactly what you're supposed to do on that.
His first hit of the season, an RBI single to extend this lead. And it's now 7-3 Dusters. Parker Redden due up for Olney. He's 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 times he's hit with men in scoring position. Now a chance to finally tally an RBI. Still searching for his first hit of the season. It's Cromartie on first, Klein on second. Swing and a miss. Upstairs fastball gets Redden chasing. Clearly a little eager. Had a discussion with Adam Leader prior to stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Leader probably telling him to take his time, stay composed, remember who he is. That time a little anxious. The 0-1. Redden fouls it straight back. He's now down 0-2.
Yeah, it's a better swing, but still finds himself 0-2. And, you know, it's interesting. It all goes back to 0-2. Andrew Kell was behind 0-2. 1 out in this inning. You know, not much going on. He gets hit by a fastball, kind of just grazed him. And then, you know, it's all, you know, all the chaos ensued all after that.
6 batters later, 4 runs scored. Parker Redden with a chance to add to it. The 0-2. Upstairs, Redden watches it blow by him. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, a chance for the bottom order to get in on the fun. We already saw Cromartie have his first hit of the game. Redden and Duff both 0 for 3, and of course they would love to get in on this rally as well.
Ovalis, quick pitch. Upstairs. Klein thought it was going to sail over the head of White, started to take off, retreats back to second base. Nobody really holding Roan Klein at second. Michael Cantiliano now scooting closer to the bag. Cromartie left alone at first. Rudiso playing back. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Parker Redden down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight.
Next is center fielder number 1 from the University of Alabama, Ahmad
Key strikeout there for Jada Savalas, who really needed to get one to go. He was put into a real poor situation coming in with 2 men on and 1 out. Now 2 men on and 2 outs for Ahmad Duff, who's 0 for 3. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. Duff 0 for 7 to start the season, has struck out 3 times. Cromartie and Klein still on first and second, respectively. Ovalas goes home. That one low.
Real good take there.
2 balls and no strikes.
Stayed in the plane for a long time. Looked like it was going to stay in the zone, though. Duff had a good read of it and watched it by for ball 2.
Big chance here for Duff. Upstairs, 3 balls, no strikes. Duff with a chance to reach base for the 2nd time this season. Reached it once Wednesday night on a fielder's choice.
The top of the order is looming on deck in Will Henson.
He started things off this inning with a ground out. Cropdusters could potentially bat around here in the 7th. Ovalas gets a strike on the board, 3-1 count. Danny Orr in on the third base bag. Duff watches that one go. It's 3-2.
Yeah, it certainly caught the
Trackman
plate.
says it's right in there.
Yeah, Duff just maybe a bit of delayed call. I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt that he was just waiting for the call to come in. Never did, for at least at first, and he assumed it was ball 4, but he'll got to lock back in now with the big 3-2 pitch on its way.
3-2. Both runners go. That one smoked down the left field line, out of play. 7th pitch of the at-bat rather, looming for Ahmad Duff. Will Henson waits in the on-deck circle. Both runners will take off on the delivery. Ovalas goes home. Both runners go. Duff swing and a miss. He's down on strikes for the 4th time this season, 3rd time tonight. And Jada Savalas shuts down the bottom of the order with back-to-back Ks. But the damage has been done. Olney tallies 4 in the bottom of the 7th, all starting with Andrew Kell, Carter Ritchie, Luke Kiefer, Rowan Klein, and RJ Cromartie, each with an RBI base hit. And the Cropdusters have come back from being down 3 to going up 4.
Yeah, it's been a great, gritty performance, and that inning really just punctuated it. Just they're grinding it out, whether it's beating out an infield hit or taking an extra base. They've done it all game, and yeah, they've earned this lead. And a lot of credit to the pitching staff. Of course, it starts with Buckles throwing those 3 great innings, but Angel Santiago Cruz came in and threw a scoreless inning, and he's got the ability, he's got the chance to get the win and close this thing out with 2 more solid innings.
Cropdusters a chance to advance to 3-0. Gaithersburg trying to prevent falling to 0-3 to start the season. Obviously, it's hard to tell really with guys still coming in from college, how good a team really is. But so far, the Cropdusters look like the team to beat in the Cal Ripken League this summer.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the year. It's everything they could have hoped for. And I know coach leaders, and just talking to all the coaches, they love what they see from the group just in terms of their connection and their intensity, while also having a lot of fun time and, kind of clicking as a unit. So it's been the best of both worlds, and of course, it helps when you're winning games, but I think it also it helps you win games when you're having, the success you're having off the field and you're clicking as a unit. Just makes everyone looser, makes everyone more comfortable with each other.
Top of the order. Due up. 2, 3, 4. Meat of the lineup for the Giants. It's Jaden Brown going up against Onel Santiago Cruz. Ground ball To the right side, Henson scoop, flip. Brown thrown out just barely. Henson a little weak toss. Brown nearly beat it out. One pitch out, though, for an Onel Santiago Cruz. And Danny Orr will come up next. Cropdusters 5 outs away from 3 straight victories.
I'll trust the veteran Henson's game clock saying that he knew exactly how much time he had there to flip and still get the out.
It's Danny Orr stepping in. Watches the first pitch strike. Breaking ball finding the zone. The third baseman is 1 for 3 tonight with a double and 2 RBIs. Santiago Cruz, ball in the dirt.
And he certainly went around on that.
He goes around. First base umpire was a little late on the appeal. But Danny Orr quickly down 0-2. Santiago Cruz goes upstairs heat. Orr doesn't chase.
You know, I don't know if you remember, Wyatt Langford at Florida was one of the best hitters that we've seen in college. Really seems like this stance is trying to replicate that Langford movement as much as possible.
It's yielded solid results so far this season. As I mentioned, Orr 1 for 3 tonight. Came in tonight 3 for 5. He's already knocked 2 doubles and 3 runs in just 3 games played. His team is down 7-3. They need a base hit. 2-2 count incoming. Santiago Cruz exhales, lifts the leg, delivers. In there, strike 3. Orr knew it. Down on strikes, shakes his head. And Santiago Cruz has made quick work of the Giants' 2 and 3 hitter. Now he goes up against the cleanup man, Aaron Babayev.
Yeah, great pitching. You know, yeah, for you guys at home, I'll give you a little homework assignment. That Wyatt Langford home run, I don't know if you've seen it in the World Series, 9th inning, one of the most electric moments of college baseball. I'm sure these players have known all about that. Go watch that. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.
Of course, only after this broadcast has concluded.
Between innings.
No, I think we're entertaining between innings, Ben.
Yeah, volume off. Keep us on, obviously. We should always be on.
I can't believe you're slandering our own broadcast. Unbelievable. 0-1 count here to Aaron Babayev. Santiago Cruz comes set. Off-speed pitch just misses low.
Not a bad pitch at all. And I love what I'm seeing from Santiago Cruz. I mean, last inning was, he was not bad, but it seems like his stuff is really taking a step up this inning. And, when you get a 4-run lead, it's so imperative to put up a 0 in the next inning, and Santiago Cruz is well on his way to doing so.
He's got to get through Babayev. Went back to the fastball near the feet of the left-handed hitter. 2 balls and a strike. Babayev has grounded out twice and struck out looking. He's only got 1 base hit in 8 at-bats this year. Rolls that one over to the right side, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You can see just the confidence on his face. He gets the ground ball foul. He's walking back on the mound. He wants the ball. He wants to get on the rubber. You see him already getting the sign, despite Babayev not even being in the box yet. He is ready to go. He wants to challenge Babayev with his pitches right now.
He's been extraordinarily confident through 1 2/3. The 2-2 pitch, 2 away. In the dirt. Hits the backstop. Babayev works it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Dusters up 7-3 on the Gaithersburg Giants. (3-2) in the dirt. Skips off the plate, and Babayev will take first base. Runner on. 2 outs for Magnus Krieger. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk.
Yeah, I mean, it's imperative that he bounces back and starts throwing strikes here. 1 walk, it is what it is. You get 2, though. Next thing you know, you're a base hit away from the tying run coming to the plate. Santiago Cruz has been so dominant with both his fastball and curveball. Just attacking the zone, he will find success.
It's the first base runner Santiago Cruz has allowed tonight. First pitch to Krieger, outside and low for ball 1. 1-0 count. Slight lead at first by Babayev. Santiago Cruz relaxed, goes home, swing and a miss by Krieger on the fastball.
Yeah,
on the outer part of the zone.
You see his motion. It's really going from right to left there. You know, starts pretty high up, pretty far to that, all the way to the right side of the rubber, and then he's moving all the way to the. He's kind of throwing across with that fastball.
Sky high. Klein coming in, makes the play. Another 0 on the scoreboard for the Giants. 2 clean innings by Onel Santiago Cruz. And we head to the bottom of the 8th. Cropdusters up 7-3 here at First Responders Field.
Yeah, a chance to add on, and they got the right guys to do so. Kell, Walters, and Richie, all 3 scored in that 4-run 7th inning.
It'll have to be Henson first. He'll lead off after the Duff strikeout in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, it's the recipe for success. You know, it's the same exact way the lineup started last inning, which is always a good sign if the same hitter who led off the last inning is leading off as well here. So,
new pitcher. It's Alex Cromwell, the redshirt freshman out of Towson. He's appeared in 1 game so far for Gaithersburg. It was a 1/3 inning outing. Didn't allow any runs, any hits. It was just a clean sheet for the right-hand pitcher. This year at college at Towson, made 3 appearances, posted a very forgettable 54 ERA in 1 1/3 innings, allowed 8 runs, walked 3, allowed 4 hits, including a double and a dinger. Opponents at 571 against the Baltimore, Maryland native.
yeah, I'm sure that number 54 is one that he has become way too familiar hearing about, and that's, you know.
If you're going to have a 54 ERA, you might as well have it your freshman year.
Yeah, you know, it's something he's going to have to wear on his, on his chest. It's not going to go anywhere. All he can do is just kind of respond to it, and he's on to the right track, getting the 1 out and the 1 batter he's faced, but he's got a real test ahead of him, facing 3 very solid hitters to start this inning.
Cromwell working with a fastball, changeup, curveball combination. Fastball mid-80s, changeup high 70s, curveball in the low 70s to high 60s. Will Henson steps up, 1 for 3 rather, with a single and a hit by pitch. Grounded out his last time up.
Yeah, another one of these guys, just 90 miles an hour, but, unless you locate the 90, you might as well be throwing, 55.
Definitely an improvement of velocity from last year where his fastball was hitting around 86. Now we're topping around 89, 90. So he's clearly taking leaps, probably responsible for the increased playing time. Did not play at all his true freshman season. Redshirted, came back to Towson. Did not have the greatest amount of success. Trying to work on that this summer. 1-1 pitch to Henson. Ground ball down the third baseline and out of play. Henson now down 1-2. Andrew Kell in the on-deck circle. Plenty of fans still here as the sky turns black. Lights doing their work. The 1-2. That one fouled straight back and out of play.
Yeah, it goes back to that off-speed pitch. Decent amount of plate on that, and a healthy 2-strike hack from Henson.
1 ball and 2 strikes to the rising 5th-year senior who just recently spent his season at Virginia Commonwealth. Originally from Chicago, Illinois. And he's hung up on strikes. That one a little bit outside the zone. Home plate umpire Reins up Hansen. That's his second strikeout of the evening.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those situations where I think Henson has a very strong sense of the strike zone, so he's going to strike out looking sometimes because, yeah, in reality that pitch was not in the zone, but, you know, some umpires are just going to have to extend it, and I think Henson would, you know, he's going to be like, well, I think his philosophy is, I'll take those strikeouts, I'm just not going to change my approach and who I am as a hitter.
Cromwell working very fast so far. He's also been effective. One batter faced, one strikeout. Now has to face Andrew Kell, who's 1 for 2 tonight with a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Kell quickly up 2-0. Cade Walter waits in the on-deck circle. He's yet to record a hit this evening. 1 for 7 on the year with a triple.
Yeah, Cromwell trying to dot that outside part of the plate, similar to what he did against Henson. And there it is.
Beautiful pitch. Nice call, Ben. 90 miles per hour on that heater. Finds the zone. 2 balls and a strike, 1 away to Andrew Kell.
Yeah, you got to think other way against someone throwing with that much velocity and throwing the outside part of the plate.
He goes right back to the fastball. Same velocity. This time it's low. Hitters count 3 ball and a strike.
Yeah, you know, Kell probably not going to have that same pulled, you know, foul home run against a guy with this velocity.
And Kell will take the walk. His 3rd time reaching base freely this evening.
Yeah, it's been a recipe for success for Kell. The last 2 times that he reached either on a walk or hit by pitch, he stole and then scored a run. So bodes well for the Cropdusters that he got on by free pass.
Cade Walter seeking his first knock of the evening. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a walk. 1 for 7 on the year. His lone hit a 2 RBI triple. That one knocks the glove off of White. Interesting. Tried to backhand the fastball, and the glove just came off. Kell held at first. Odd play. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah, I guess didn't attempt to catch it the right way, or at least just hit the glove in a strange way, and there it went. And he almost
Goes
did
for
it
the
again.
backhand
Yeah.
again. That time the mitt stays on. But Cade Walter up 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, he had a nice patient approach in his last at bat, able to work a walk.
2-0 count. That one coats the outer part of the zone for strike 1, 89. Barely clipsing that upper edge of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Skied out to left. Powell is there, makes the play. 2 away.
Batting next, the designated hitter, number 36 from Virginia Commonwealth University, Carter Ritchie.
And this guy, we got to come up with a nickname for him at some point. He's 3 for 3 with 3 singles, 3 RBIs, also has a hit by pitch. His start to the season has been phenomenal. I'm not sure if we looked at his numbers from this past season at VCU where he hit 133, we'd be thinking he'd be 5 for 6 to start the season.
Yeah, 5 for 6 as well. Gotten on base 3 more times. Has scored 4 runs. Has 5 RBI. It's just been an unbelievable start to the year for him, and you know he's earned that 4 spot. But don't see him coming out of there when it becomes serious play.
He's going to have to battle back here, down 0-2. A chance to add on to this phenomenal start for Ritchie. He's going up against Alex Cromwell, probably some of the fastest pitching he's faced so far this summer. Highest velo tonight from a Gaithersburg arm. It's Kell on first. 0-2 pitch incoming, 2 away. Low and outside off speed. Nice eye by Ritchie. Disciplined approach.
Yeah, that's part of what's made him so successful these first 2 games. He's just not chasing good pitches, like good pitches that a lot of hitters would chase out of the zone. He just has such a good sense of the strike zone, and he does not go out of his area.
Richie fouls that one off to the right side, out of play.
He really is just a tough out.
One, two again. Quick delivery. That one finds the zone. Nice pitch by Alex Cromwell. 90-mile-per-hour fastball to end the eighth. Richie down on strikes. Still a 7-3 lead for the Cropdusters as we head into the ninth inning.
Yeah,
Only 3 outs away from starting 3-0.
it's a good pitch high outside in the zone. It's not a pitch you see a lot, but simple as that. Like you're saying, the Cropdusters in a great spot to go 3-0. You know, you already talked about how the 2-0 start was the best in their, you know, short career. 3-0, of course, would just, you know, take it even farther.
It's going to be Onel Santiago Cruz back out for his 3rd inning of work. Pitched a stellar 7th and 8th. Has only allowed 1 base runner, struck out 1. Can clean things up here in the 9th. It's going to be Bryce Rudisil, Zach White, and Michael Contigliano up for the Giants. 6, 7, 8. Ryan Maxey in the 9 spot in case somebody gets on board.
So, of course, the Cropdusters are away tomorrow at 7. And if they do hang on to this lead, that'll make them 2-0 at home, 1-0 on the road. And then, you know, you get a win there. Back home on the 8th against the DC Grays. Tomorrow's against Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. And, yeah, I mean, you got to feel good about what you've seen from this team so far.
It's been really impressive, Ben. I'm not sure if anybody expected this team to start 3-0. This was a Olney team that had never even won their season opener in 4 straight seasons, let alone started 3-0. A young group of guys, some veterans that have really moved around, and I think a lot of it just has to do with chemistry. These guys have faced adversity, they've made mistakes, nobody's dipped their head, everybody's picked each other up, and it's yielded results. They had to fight back down 3 tonight, and now they have a chance in the top of the 9th to escape with a 4-run win.
Yeah, and you know, I think part of the way they're playing shows that closeness. I mean, they're playing a very unselfish brand of baseball.
First pitch in the top of the 9th is a fastball low and inside.
I mean, no one's playing like the hero. Everyone just knows that they are one of a group that's bigger than themselves, and they're all doing whatever it takes. You know, whether it be, you know, just getting a runner over or finding ways to help each other.
And we had a chance to talk with the coaching staff both today and yesterday, and one of the key notes was that there's just no jerks on this team. Everybody kind of enjoys one another's company. They hang out. They mesh well. And they said you always kind of have 1 or 2 jerks. This season, it's 0. And I think these guys just really enjoy playing with each other day in and day out. 1-1 pitch here to Rudisil. Ground ball to the right side again, out of play, 1-2.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's that idea of having the big personalities, and often those big personalities can be that quote-unquote jerks that we heard a lot. And but this Cropduster team has big personalities, yet the ones that they have are those who are committed to making this be kind of an inclusive atmosphere, one that's fun and positive, and it's clear to see both on and off the field.
1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. You talk about those big personalities. First guy that comes to mind for me is Gavin Lill. I mean, he's a big guy naturally, but a big personality as well. Came out, shut things down last night for Olney in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Talked to us about how he was working on his fastball all summer. Just could not be more critical of that 4-seam pitch, as that 4-seam fastball off the hand of Santiago Cruz hits Bryce Rudisil. He'll take first base. Runner on, nobody out. Giants still not dead in this one. And we have a pinch hitter.
And batting for the Giants, number 45, Ethan McNally.
So Ethan McNally will pinch hit for Zach White. McNally, a catcher as well, his first plate appearance of the season. Was a member of Gaithersburg last year, hit .204 and 49 at-bats, 10 hits, 11 RBIs, 18 walks, First pitch inside and upstairs for ball one. Hit 175 at Clarion this year. A guy that's kind of struggled at the plate over the past 365 days, a chance to right some wrongs and keep Gaithersburg alive. He's got a square count, 1-1. Nobody out. Middle infield shading towards the second base bag, thinking double play. It's Rudisil at first. Cantiliano in the on-deck circle. 1-2 pitch as McNally fouls that one straight back.
Yeah, real nice pitch from Angel Santiago Cruz there. Getting back in the zone after the hit by pitch and the ball one. You know, he knows as well as, everyone else that in this situation, up 4, you just do not want to create base runners.
The 1-2. Low and outside, scooped up by Redden. Checking over at first as Rudisil was dancing a little bit, taunting as if he was going to go. He stays put. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 9th. Off he goes. Retreats. A fake steal. Definitely got me. That's why I'm not on the field. Rudisil still at first. 3-2 count. Santiago Cruz at risk of walking back-to-back batters. Nobody in the bullpen for the Cropdusters. Most everybody has filed into the dugout. And a solid at-bat here from McNally. He'll see his 8th pitch. Fouls that one back.
Yeah, no easy feat by McNally. It's the 9th inning. He's been standing for, upwards of 3 hours. So to come into the game and put on a bat like this in the 9th inning is very impressive.
He skies that one to the right side. Coming in. Out of play. Kell and Henson both colliding in that shallow right corner in foul territory. Nobody could get there. 9th pitch upcoming for Ethan McNally. Santiago Cruz, in all honesty, is not checking Rudisil at first. Rudisil is yet to go, but he's been acting as if he is. Wonder if he takes off here. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, with a 4-run lead, if the runner's trying to distract him, I don't mind him not really paying the runner any mind.
Weird swing, and that ball's going to fall in center field, base hit. 2 men on, nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Gaithersburg adding some late pressure, and it looks like a couple of arms are heading back into the Olney bullpen to get loose.
Yeah, really nice at bat that ends just kind of throwing his hands at the sweeper and puts it in the outfield for a base knock. Just really impressive for someone who's been on the bench for 8 innings.
A solid swing by McNally. Brings up Michael Cantiliano. Nobody out, 2 men on. Santiago Cruz misses on the fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, we talked about it when it was the first time around for Santiago Cruz, how he needed to get one of the 2 of the 8-9 hitters out. That becomes even more, important here. You do not want the tying run to be up when the top of the order is up.
Santiago Cruz misses. Redden going to take a time and go talk to his right-handed pitcher. Things getting a little dicey here. We might have spoken too soon. This game's still far from over. 2 men on, nobody out. It's Cantiliano, Maxey, and then the top of the order and Brady Powell. Good news for the Dusters. Neither Cantiliano or Maxey has reached base safely tonight. Both men are 0 for 3.
Yeah, it makes it even more imperative that you throw strikes to these guys. You do not want to give them a free pass and let them be table setters for the top of the order. You just do not let them out the hook here. Make them beat you.
Cantiliano is 0 for 6 on the season. Has only reached base safely 1 time, struck out 4 times. This is a guy you really want to attack.
Yeah, after the mound visit, you hope that Santiago Cruz is more settled down here and can just fire, that 4-seamer in the zone.
2-0 count. He shows bunt, pulls back. Called strike. Not sure if the intent there was to bunt. Not entirely sure what it does for you at this stage in the game, down 4. You need base runners if you're Gaithersburg.
Yeah, some like to distract the pitcher with that way. If anything, I think it might help you as a pitcher.
Weak dribbler, Santiago Cruz scoops, toss to first, Klein makes the play. 1 out, both runners advance. So it's McNally on second, Rudisil on third, Ryan Maxey coming to the plate.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward play there. Santiago Cruz does well, though, to field it and make the flip. Yeah, but
I think that has to do a lot with the fact that he plays the infield when he's not pitching. He was on third base last night. He's comfortable in those spots. Not a lot of pitchers, I'm sure, are that composed making that play, or maybe they don't make that play at all.
no, definitely, it's a very good point that the fielding helps him. We're seeing a pinch hitter here as, after Ryan Maxey 0 for 3 in the day. Coach is trying something new. He's 1 for 1 with pinch hitters so far in the inning.
And that ball skied out to center field. On the run is Duff. Makes the play. Tagging is Rudisil. McNally advances to third. 7-4, 2 outs. After the sacrifice fly by the pinch hitter.
Batting the left fielder, number 19 from Radford University, Brady Powell.
Top of the order.
Yeah, really well done by Ahmad Duff there. He seemed to kind of be facing the wrong direction, but he's, easily just kind of turns his hips around and makes the catch and secures a huge second out.
Top of the order, it's Brady Powell. Santiago Cruz missed it on the first pitch. That sacrifice fly was done by Joey Nicholson, number 10, from Gaston College. Knocks in a run. His first RBI of the season. 1-0 pitch, 1 man on, 3-run game. Tying run is in the on-deck circle.
And, of course, that tying run and the on-deck circle lies in Jaden Brown, who already has that home run on the day.
Not a guy you want to face. Santiago Cruz down 2-0 in the count. Powell 1 for 4. Nice frame by Redden. Didn't need to, though. Coats the outer edge. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, it's paint. It's a really gutsy pitch on 2-0 to come back and deliver an absolute perfect strike.
2 balls and a strike. Foul tip off the knee pad of Redden. And the Cropdusters are 1 strike away. 2-2 count, 2 outs. It's McNally on third. Santiago Cruz from the stretch. Fouled off. The Dusters will have to clap once more. Game not over quite yet. A base runner would really make things interesting here, Ben.
That it would. Santiago Cruz doing everything in his power to not let that happen. You saw there, went inside with a fastball, maybe setting up that sweeper there after showing him the ball on the inside part of the plate.
The 2-2. Check swing. Got him! The Olney Cropdusters move to 3-0 here in 2025. The best start in franchise history continues for the Cropdusters. And as we said last night, Ben, all this team has done so far is win, win, win. This time, an even more impressive come-from-behind victory. Down 3 runs after 3 innings, the Cropdusters come back and tally 7 in their final 15 outs and end up taking this one against the Gaithersburg Giants 7-4.
Yeah, another really impressive victory. Credit to Buckles pitching that middle of the game, but just the lineup really battled. Love what I saw just in terms of at bats. The team just really grinded out this victory. They forced some walks. They just got base runners when they had to, and of course, Carter Ritchie with another huge game, some huge clutch hits, 3 RBI. All of them were important. The go-ahead hit on that, hit and run. Just a really impressive all-around victory.
Big game by Ritchie, some clutch hits by Klein, a nice knock by Cromartie, who really needed that. He was struggling. This team continues to gel. On the other hand, though, Gaithersburg now 0-3, all 3 losses coming by 4 runs or less. One swing game, technically. If you're the Giants, what are you telling yourselves right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent on this team. It's evident. You see, they had that lead. They got electric arms. There's just the little things, when it gets down to it, making the clutch play, not getting too in your head when knowing where you're going to go with the ball. Maybe reviewing the little things like on that double steal. If that second baseman stays a little bit there, just a little bit longer, there's a it's a different circumstance. But yeah, this team is too talented to be 0-3, and they'll get right.
They'll get right. Olney will face them soon enough. The next matchup with the Giants comes just 9 days from now, June 15th at Christwell Field, a road game. The Cropdusters are back in action tomorrow night on the road at Blair High School, facing the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts, who enter tonight 1-1. Next home game for the Cropdusters comes Sunday against the DC Grays, who enter tonight as the only other undefeated team. Sure to be a good one. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. For Ben Gurwitch, I'm Nick King saying so